Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream. I hope you have a lovely time. Today, I've decided instead of doing books, we're just going to be playing Mario games in the spirit of Moviebob. Yes, this is the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if this is more actually a test to see if my thing can even stream SNES games. But it's okay, you know, this is the... Alright, fuck video games. You know what? Video games were a mistake. You know what? They rot your brain, frankly. Moviebob's right. We should all just... Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get this set up here. Bear is up. Background is still Moviebob. Change that out for something more nice. There you go. Well, now it doesn't fit, so hang on. We gotta have... No, come on. I want to have your Mr. Gay proudly displayed. Center to... Come the fuck on, you fucker. You're all going to be mad at me because I'm not jumping into the books, but you know what? We're gonna get this nice. Okay, never mind. We're not going to get this nice. Forget it. You know what? We don't need the bear. We don't need the bear. We don't need any of that. Because we're just going to go straight into it. Frankly, we're just going to go dive into Moviebob's books. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream once again. It is I, your humble host. Whatever my name is. I forget. Yeah, I woke up today. I decided... I don't have any other responsibilities in my life. Let's make fun of... let's critique Moviebob's books. You see, this is a serious stream. This is a serious review stream. Because YouTube's got new, rules in place where we're not allowed to, we're not allowed to have as much fun on YouTube as we used to. Let me just get that set up here. We can't really critique people in quite the same way, but this is a perfectly legitimate art, literature review stream, This is an adult, serious venture that's not... It's not anything suspicious. We're not doing anything wrong, This is just a review stream. We're going to read through some of Moviebob's books. Now, I don't own any of Moviebob's books, but thankfully they're available to read some of. If you were here for the Gale stream that we did a little while ago where we read through some of her books, we're going to do something kind of like that. He's got a bunch more books available, though. He's got tons. He's got so many books. And a lot of them aren't even really that much books. They're like collections of blog posts that he just had published, I guess. So, I think that's what this book is. This is called Geek Streak. And it's Bob Chipman on geek culture, which I'm sure he's qualified to talk about. Now, if you're not familiar with Moviebob, I suggest you check out... There should be a card on the stream, actually. I suggest you go and check out the old video that I did from a few months ago. I think it was April or something, in which we discussed Moviebob. That was part one. I've been putting off... Putting off... I was trying to say pushing and put... Anyways. I've been putting off part two for a little while. But it is going to happen. I found out that he's still doing the Game Over Thinker series. And it still gets terrible likes to dislikes on YouTube, because, of course it does. Fun fact, according to Tristan, a fellow you'll see in chat there, who is going to be joining us later to read through, well, Tristan read through some of, all of Moviebob's Mario Brothers 3 book, which, come to think of it, is probably the game I should have started the stream with instead of Mario World, but, yeah, he read through all of it a couple months ago, and he recorded a lot of his reactions to it, which are going to appear in the proper Moviebob Part 2, but for now, he's going to come on in a little while, and he's going to yell about something about parentheses. I'm not sure. I didn't read the book, so... So I'm not sure exactly how horrible it is. But we're going to find out how good or bad, potentially bad. Probably good, though. You know, it's Moviebob, so probably good. We're going to find out how good or bad some of his other books are here. We got Geek Streak here. There's Idiot Box. That's another book of his. Real Retro. He's got some books talking about games and stuff, and I always find it hilarious because I don't know, I don't remember if I included this in the original Moviebob video, but he, at one point, he mistook Super Metroid for Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And then when somebody called him out on mistaking two of the most, like, popular games, most well-known, critically praised games ever made, he was like, I'm sorry that I don't recognize the samey, grimdark fantasy scapes. So, I don't know, I just think about that fun quote. Paraphrase, that's not an exact quote, but something like that. He said something quite similar to that. I think about that every time that he tries to talk about being like a gamer or something. Yeah, you mixed up literally two of the most critically praised games of the past, well, ever. I guess because they're not Mario? I'm not sure, but, you know, I don't know. He also likes Other M, so what are you going to do? Anyways, let's get on with this book here. Not before I check the chat, though, and annoy a bunch of people who just want me to get into it. Moviebob on video games. Metroid, Grimdark. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I liked a few of his reviews. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, his reviews, occasionally they're not, like, the weird thing with Moviebob is that he's always, like, he always sounds like an idiot. I mean, you know, this isn't a bully stream, this is just a review stream. He always sounds like, I don't know, but, you know, I usually disagree with him on most things, but then every once in a while he'll say something that I'm like, wait a second, is that Moviebob who said that? And I can actually kind of get behind it. He has a few opinions that aren't totally wrong, which I guess is true for anybody, but it's kind of amazing. Like, you'd expect it to be a little more 100%. People in the chat are asking if it's going to be as bad as Empress Teresa. No, I think Moviebob's a little more sane than that, slightly. If you're not familiar with Empress Teresa, chat, you should check out Down the Rabbit Hole, did a video about it. But more importantly, he did, Frederick Knudsen did a live stream, kind of like this, I guess, similar format, where he just read through some of Empress Teresa, and it was incredible. It's the best book. I have to pick up a physical copy someday. That and My Immortal. And the Filmarillion, I guess. Speaking of which, I hope you guys enjoyed the last video. Anyhow, let's get into it. So this is a collection of stuff that he had written, I think, for the original pieces contained in this volume are called from a variety of sources. The majority originated on The Escapist and the Moviebob blog. So he's literally just publishing blog posts and pretending that's like a book. Like, I owe my success and all this stuff. This book is dedicated to my parents. If you listen, this isn't a bully stream, but if you were the parent of somebody who was like 48 years old and was writing books that were literally just collated blog posts put into a book, like, would you really want that dedicated to you? That's all I'm saying. That's the only question I have. Yeah, so this is just blog posts. We can see through the index here, we got a Twilight, and the underappreciation of female fandom. You can see what direction this might be heading in already. The decade of the nerd, the geeks have inherited the earth, now what? Trope-a-dope, everyone's an expert now, or are they? Yeah, there's some people who talk about tropes on the internet who should really just stop and shouldn't have conned people out of their money all those years ago. It's time to forgive George Lucas. Let go of your hate. Guys, now, I'm probably not the biggest Star Wars fan here. They're okay movies. I also started with the prequels, so I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about it, but the prequels are pretty bad. I don't know. Time to let go of your hate and forgive George Lucas. I can agree to an extent that Lucas, at least he had some ideas. Like it was a little more. He tried more weird things than Disney is now, but that doesn't make it good. That doesn't make there have been any good Star Wars movies after the second one, fucking 40 years ago or whatever. The spoiler that changed the world, Iron Man 2, and oh man, this is dated. So this is, as I say, this is taken from a bunch of blog posts and things over the years. So some of it is obviously gonna. I think this was published in. Ooh. Copyright 2016, so this was a 2016 book, but I'm just going to skip ahead here to the final one, Batman versus Obama Avengers, Marvel and DC's big 2012 blockbusters as a metaphor for the 2012 presidential election. I've got people in my chat who are younger than 2012, you know, like... This is some old stuff. But yeah, a lot of stuff here. Only a few of these are actually available. I think it's just these first two. This is kind of like a demo in a video game. It's like you get teased about all the cool stuff that comes later, you know? But meanwhile, your parents only ever bought you the one e-games thing, so you never ended up getting the full versions of Speedy Egbert or Crazy Drake, but they sure looked enticing. You played that demo a lot. Yeah, so a lot of stuff. Moviebob goes to the Renaissance Fair. Why should only boys benefit from the nostalgia boom? Tales from the Table, The Secret Knowledge.
Oh, the secret technique.
You know, I actually just reinstalled Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. Good game. Combat's a bit fucky, though. It's a little bit too just punch the guy until he's dead. There's not too much skill to it. It just finished like 10 minutes before the stream started, so... I do this, I sacrifice for you, ladies and gentlemen. I do this all for you. I could be playing that game, but instead I'm reading about feminist fairy tales and oh my god. So introduction. When I was growing up, there was no such thing as geek culture. Geek culture, yes, we're off to a good start. I can definitely read. At least it didn't really have that name. If you're young enough to have only ever grown up in a world where the internet was a constant fact of life, it may be hard to understand this, but once upon a time, if you were really into a specific series or of books or comics or a television series or a movie, and you didn't know anyone else who felt the same way in your own general geographic area, why was there a semicolon? No, that's wrong, Bob. It was conceivable that level of pop cultural isolation could be a permanent condition of your life. Two people who both called the same obscure, otherwise forgotten piece of pop ephemera their favorite thing ever could live no more than one town away from one another and go their entire lives without ever knowing that the other existed or that, at least in that respect, they were not alone. I remember that world, and even to me it feels alien given how the world works now. As a kid, I obsessed over my favorite cartoons, comics, and movies, mainly in the pursuit of keeping them alive and vibrant for myself. The idea that remembering everything that happened to He-Man and his friends, it's in all caps, I gotta read it like that, and his friends would ever have some level of a social purpose never would have entered my mind. I just didn't want to forget that I'd enjoyed it and that this cool thing had just sort of went away at a certain point, had existed. What? Let's read through this one again. I just didn't want to forget that I'd enjoyed it and that this cool thing that just sort of went... Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. So, someone else who remembered it as well, or even better than me? Preposterous. Sure, there were comic book stores and... God, this is boring already. There were comic book stores, and if there was a good one near you, maybe you could spend a few hours a week talking with like-minded people about fairly general minutiae of the medium. And sure, I knew that certain things like Star Trek or Doctor Who had devoted followings who got together at conventions. But that was only for really, really big stuff, and as far as I knew, the various fandoms and subcultures didn't mix, or at least not especially well. By the time... Okay, so there's other books to get to, so I'm going to skip through this a bit. I didn't think this would be so immediately boring. But, holy shit, it stopped. Make no mistake, I'm still glad to be living in the geek age of popular culture. It's colorful, it's fun, there's lots of lovely things to buy and watch and consume! That's exactly what it is, yes. Just consume product and don't ask questions. Good times, but if there was ever any sense among anyone serious that the world was going to improve on some fundamental, substantial level just because one-time nerds were now in charge of the culture, I can only imagine they wound up severely disappointed by watching fans of this or that property react to pop culture dominance by trying to shut the door behind them, which we sadly saw with sad events. Like, game... Oh, we don't talk about the G word. We don't use that. That's a slur. And the outrage that greeted the Ghostbusters remake, or Marvel Comics diversifying their character lineup. Yes, forget us not, ladies and gentlemen. Moviebob not only loves Metroid Other M, which took a formerly capable character who did shit herself and turned her into... Hey Adam, hey man, hey older male figure, am I allowed to wear my protective armor in the lava zone so I don't die? No, I'm not allowed to do that yet? Okay, sir, sorry, sir. Yeah, not only does Moviebob enjoy that feminist masterpiece, he also loves Ghostbusters. The movie where it was so bad they just decided, you know what? Let's just pretend there's a controversy. Yeah. Still, it's been a fascinating moment to watch unfold, and lucky for me, and hopefully for you, first of many parentheses, Tristan. I'm sure you're keeping a counter. I was writing regular columns and blogs for a lot of it. Much of it for The Escapist, but also for my... This guy, he thinks his, like, blog is so important. He's, like, literally, he's publishing his blog like it's some important, like, chronicle of the history of gaming or something. He was fortunate enough to write for The Escapist, but also for his own site. I was going to say earlier, I think I trailed off, but The Escapist? Is it The Escapist? I think it's them. The ones with Yahtzee. Yeah, they were, like, hosting his Game Over Thinker series, which is still around. And I think as of, like, actually his last video, as of a few days ago, they've dropped him. So, that's interesting. It's just an interesting development, you know, nothing more to say about that. Yeah, but look forward to part 2, ladies and gentlemen. I was there, and I chronicled it all. Within this book, you'll find essays like, It's Time to Forgive George Lucas, The 50 Most Boring Opinions in Geek Culture, or... Wow. This guy, he is actually... He's actually publishing a book that's like BuzzFeed blogs. Wow. This is his crowning achievement in life. And this is coming from me. My crowning achievement in life is beating a Yakuza game on Insane. Or Legend, or whatever it is. But shit, dude. Bile is the warmest color. Great. Every effort has been made to... get these pieces organized and blah blah blah. For one thing, you may notice abrupt shifts in quality and style. No, I think they're gonna be about the same quality the whole way through, Bob. Don't worry. I'm especially glad to include all of my retails columns. The video game... Oh, video retail industry. Right. So his other thing that he's really glad about is his job at a video store before they stopped existing. And now he can't do anything else. Very, very good. Right, so the pieces I selected for this particular volume mean a lot to me, as many of them represent a few of the rare occasions where I got to stop writing about whatever new movie was out, or old movie, could be connected to a recently popular event, and talk about what was really going on in the so-called geek culture. I like how he kind of admits here that this is like, whatever new movie was out, or whatever old movie could be somehow connected to a thing that happened recently. Yeah, whatever, that's journalism, I guess. Yeah, you know how, I don't know, Dr. Zhivago was racist. Did you know that? Yeah, it's racist. Read my blog, guys. Be sure to click on all the ads. Alright, so here we got Twilight of the She-Geeks. This is from November 2009. This is a blog post from nearly 10 years ago that he decided to, like... Well, I guess he published it in 2016, but... Then it was just, like, nearly 5... Then it was just... It's not better, but, right, so, yeah. This is gonna be the part... Let's just check out the chat here, see what's going on. See what's happening. Look, if you ever read my book, you probably haven't showered in 3 weeks. Who lives in a superior future under the sea? Moviebob SquarePants! Very good. Moviebob knows that we have to get rid of outdated white occupations like factory worker, miner, and farmer. You know, the whitest occupation is blogger. Nerd culture blogger. That's probably the whitest thing you could be. Somebody's having a bit of a crisis. I need to go out to buy food, but I don't want to miss the stream. Somebody make me leave the computer. I could ban you if you like, but I don't think that's what you want. MTPK, they dropped him again. Yeah, they like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they had him. I think they had him before, and they dropped him in some capacity. He was working there around 2014 when the Jeet happened. I can't speak the name. It's like Voldemort. They're gonna come to get me. The Goober Glades. And then they fired him because he couldn't stop talking about politics. And then I guess maybe they gave him a second chance. I don't know. But now he still only talks about politics. So it's like, all right. Ready Player done. Yeah, Moviebob is the kind of target demographic that Ready Player One was looking for. Did he like Ready Player One? I'm not gonna watch his fucking reviews, but it seems like the exact kind of, like, weirdly, specifically old nostalgia nerd stuff, but also incredibly surface level in every possible capacity. It's like perfectly Moviebob. That's the Moviebob movie. So this is Twilight of the She-Geeks. It's a blog post, I guess, about Twilight and girls and how great feminism is, or something. You know, standard Moviebob stuff. So much ink was spilled by film critics trying to make sense of the comparatively brief mega popularity of the insipid Twilight saga. Looking back, I don't think I came closer than anyone else to working it out here, but at least I wasn't as clueless as a lot of the other think-piece blubbering going on at the time. Yes, let this elderly, bearded white guy in his mom's basement, 58-year-old white man, let him tell you what Twilight is about. Okay, I can't come at you, like, I don't think necessarily that a white guy with a beard in his mom's basement shouldn't be able to critique something. I'm not Brie Larson. I'm just saying that by Moviebob's logic, I think he's the last person to be talking about Twilight or really anything, apparently. Wouldn't he be the lowest on the progressive stack? Come on, guys. Check that you know, that's an old meme. The privilege. I'm not even gonna use the old meme. It's dead. It's an old dead meme, just like Moviebob. Here's a sentence I could never have guessed I'd be writing. A publicity photo of a shirtless Taylor Lautner convinced me to read the entire Twilight saga.
Oh, baby.
I should probably elaborate on that, huh? No, that's fine, Bob. I think we get the picture. I'm sure you got the picture, too. A few months back, Summit Entertainment's publicity machine made a big deal out of its first group shots of the New Moon werewolves. In any other genre film, this would mean a money shot, either of CGI creators or actors and extensive makeup appliances. I'm not going to make a money shot joke. That's what the chat's for. In Twilight, however, this means a handful of young male actors, uniformly bronze-skinned. Twilight's werewolves are all Native Americans and model buff, standing around aloof and shirtless. Just as uniform as their look was the reaction of male movie geeks, including yours truly. Heh, this looks like gay porn. Now, for those of you who don't speak guy fluently, looks like gay porn is sexually insecure straight male for I immediately recognize that this depiction of the masculine figure is intended to be arousing, and said recognition makes me uncomfortable. Thus, having caught myself in a less uncharacteristic than I'd like it to be moment of, okay, can you stop with the dashes? Moment of Tucker Max behavior. I'm sure that's a good reference from 2002. I found myself faced with a question. Is this what women have been trying to tell me all this time? No, women have been trying to tell you, get off, please. I'm going to 500 yards, motherfucker. Read the restraining order. Now, let me first explain. There's no getting around the fact that these visions of the Twilight werewolves are patently ridiculous. Even more so when you consider the pretzel logic, that's a pretty good Steely Dan album, behind their existence. In Twilight, werewolves are humans who flash morph into truck-sized canines. So that sounds kind of cool, actually. So they go about shirtless and in sweatpants so they can quick strip and avoid having to constantly buy new clothes. The question, of course, as to why this magical transformation can't simply also explain the vanishing and reappearing of clothing. Some fucking parentheses. I'm starting to see what you mean, Tristan. It makes just about as much sense as several hundred extra pounds of muscle and bone appear. It's just hard to read, like, when you just throw the parentheses in there, and there's, like, other parentheses down here, too, and it just becomes kind of a pain to read. I don't know, there's more down here, and more parentheses down here. Wow, dude. So, the Twilight engine runs on heterosexual female lust, and having it work this way allows author Stephanie Meyer an in-plot excuse to send a whole team of tan-toned boys galloping near naked through the woods. It's fetishism and objectification, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so we've established that that can be a thing that happens to both men and women. Congratulations, Moviebob, you did it. I'm proud of you. A+, you did it, baby. So I'm reading this, and the first thing that's coming to mind is, Tristan might be guessing this, too. Yakuza? Game I can't stop talking about? Yeah, it's a series where Japanese anime men go around and fight for things they believe in, and then there's conflict, and they rip off their suits, and they're all, like, shiny and glistening and oily, and they fight, and there's man fight, and they beat up the man fight, beat man fight, and it's really cool. And I get that it's kind of, I think it might be, basically what I'm saying is Yakuza is Twilight, more or less. And I don't know, it's just a weird comparison I wanted to make all of a sudden. The same, like, this looks like gay porn thing because a bunch of guys, like, are standing around topless grappling each other. It's kind of the same thing you might think if you looked at Yakuza briefly. But no, they're definitely all perfectly straight men, we promise. because it's a Japanese game, and that would be bad if they weren't. I don't think Japan likes that. I don't think Japan likes that very much. So yeah, Twilight, genre fiction. Yeah, he's basically. This is what I'm saying. Like, once in a while, there's these weird moments of clarity with Moviebob, where it's like he gets that it's bullshit, everything he's saying. But he's like, in other words, it's the same thing that they've been doing to women throughout history. And I guess the idea is Twilight is sort of like women getting their comeuppance or something on men for every other male geek currently rolling our eyes. It's the same feeling, I guess, for women. Well, yeah, but, like, the point that he's making is maybe valid, like, to an extent. He's saying that, oh boy, the rain is starting. Oh, man. Oh, I should just do the stream in the rain. 24-hour, like, real life rain stream. We're gonna get electric shocked. It'll be fun. He's saying basically, like, the women got, like I say, their comeuppance, I guess, and the way men kind of gawked at Twilight when it came out was sort of like, oh, well, that's how women felt with every, like, Bond girl, or, like he says, Power Girl costumes and female ninjas and shit like that. And I kind of get that, but at the same time, like, if women are sexualizing and objectifying men in this way, then why is it a problem when men do it to women? You know what I mean? Like, why is it a problem? Like, you know, let people sexualize and objectify whatever they want and want to spend money on and, you know, support. Like, I don't get how he can make this argument and then not see that. Long story short, this moment of clarity, got me to thinking that he should read the books, and they're pretty bad, according to him. I bring these three disparate threads together. Twilight being awful yet massively popular. Twilight's sexual objectification of its male characters, and the rest of geek culture's sexual objectification of women, because I've come to regard them as interconnected. Female-targeted fetish objects, like the Twywolves. I'm blanking as to whether or not they had an official group name. Look preposterous to the mainstream read male. Stop the parentheses, you fuck! Okay, now I get it. I get it now. Every fucking paragraph has like 6 fucking parentheses. This one goes on for 5 lines. It's Buffy one. How could this couldn't have just been without parentheses, dude? Oh my god, it's just hard to read. Male geek audience. The amount of geek culture material actually aimed at a female audience is scandalously small. And that's why crap like Twilight is able to become so popular. Nature abhors a vacuum. It's the same principle by which Tyler Perry has made his ill-gotten fortune. Right. Hollywood's done such a poor job in creating entertainment that appeals to the African-American middle class that almost any sufficiently well-marketed entry into the void was going to turn a profit. Well, is that why white people are now throwing scraps to the pitiful, poor downtrodden minorities? Oh, you can be Little Mermaid now if you want, while we pocket all the money at Disney. Yeah, is that why that's happening now? It's cool, Disney. That's cool. None of us can see through what you're doing, Disney. It's fine. Martin Lawrence, Twilight. Face it, the vast majority of sci-fi and fantasy fare, and I mean books, movies, video games, comics, and so forth are written by and for men and boys. That doesn't mean they don't have female fans, far from it, but do take note that it's a one-way street. The modern geek universe is littered with fellow travelers of the fairer sex who found something to relate to in the ostensibly testosterone-dripping realms of the X-Men or Star Wars, with its instantly erect laser... Oh, come on. With the fucking swords. Yeah, okay. A near-helpless slave girl. I like the implication that a laser sword is like a man thing. Like, oh, only men like laser swords because they're instantly erect and it's like a metaphor or something. You know what I mean? There's no way a woman could watch Star Wars because she likes fucking cool shit and laser swords and like the Force and stuff. No, women don't think that way. Let me tell you how women think. And near helpless slave girl princesses and the newer incarnations of quintessential boy and his toys hero Doctor Who. Boy and his toys hero? What? Doctor Who is like historically usually a grandpa. And what? Like, yeah, he's a man, but it's like a man and his fucking like grandchildren. That was the original incarnation of Doctor Who. And that's kind of the tone of it. I mean, they get kind of romantic, I guess, like 10 did. And like 11 kind of did. But it's not like he's Riker going around space fucking aliens. And by the way, quintessential boy and his toys hero Doctor Who certainly have their lady admirers. Bruh! Doctor Who's fan base is like 95% Tumblr girl at this point. Is that for the better? Have we traded up? Is this a better reality? Is this really what we wanted? Like, even back when this was written in 2009, the Doctor Who fan base was pretty heavily like teen girls who really liked David Tennant. Which, I mean, who can blame them? It's David Tennant. But, yeah, 5 fucking line long parentheses about Buffy. And Buffy doesn't count. Hot high school chicks wrestling with monsters was aimed at guys to start with. That Joss Whedon is a good enough writer that his geek fetish doll heroines were genuinely relatable to women doesn't change that fact. Okay, it seems like nobody's paying attention to you. The slightest bit of attention paid by anyone could seem like a huge deal. Come to think of it, it's often one of the first things, however unconsciously noted by real-life Bella Swans, right before they wind up in abusive, codependent relationships. Oh my god, what? What the fuck are you doing, Moviebob? What turns are you taking with this? Now, am I saying that all this context somehow justifies or minimizes the blight of Twilight hell? Okay, well, at least he acknowledges that they're bad. Just keep in mind how hard it is out there for the women of geekdom. Their own culture relegates them to the subgenre ghetto. I mean, not anymore, dude. It's not like that now, and honestly... The media was generally better before they started getting all weird, you know. But now I don't know. You know, I kind of get a point. Like, again, he's always Moviebob usually has like a kernel of a point that's like not stupid, and I get it to an extent. I think Strange Aeons made the point better than he is, though. When she did a video a little while ago, I think it was like a Tumblr thing, a Tumblr deep dive video, and it was about like Twilight shit, and it was fun. It was like it wasn't something I was nostalgic for. I mean, I wasn't nostalgic for Twilight, but I'm somewhat nostalgic for the era when Twilight was a thing, and so that was fun. But yeah, she kind of described it as like. Everybody shit on these movies, and to an extent there was this sort of like hyper masculine thing that was like, oh, these movies are for girls. I had that a bit too. I mean, I remember I saw the first Twilight movie, because this was when I thought it was just like a movie, and it was just like, oh, we'll see this one, it's popular, I guess. And I came away from it thinking the movie wasn't that great, but I liked the like scenery and the trees and stuff. And I remember mentioning that on like a forum around the time that the game Alan Wake was announced. If any of you remember Alan Wake, that was like 2009 or something. And I remember saying, this kind of looks, it reminds me a little bit of Twilight, and that was a fucking mistake. Because it does. It's like redwood trees and, you know, that kind of like Twin Peaks-y aesthetic. And everybody in the forum was just like, you have to hand in your man card now, bro. You like Twilight. It's like, there's an extent to which Moviebob's kind of right here, but he raises secondary arguments that contradict his own, and he's largely still sounds like an idiot. And also there's this weird paragraph that just talks about like abusive relationships for some reason, which is like, I guess makes sense in the context of the thing, but it doesn't fit with it's just weird. I don't know. Anyways, so that was this one. That was the Twilight of the she-geeks. And yeah, that was a mess. That was a bit of a mess. Let's take a look at the chat here, see what's going on. Trees make me hard. Supernatural is just B-tier Lucifer anyways. I mean, Supernatural came out like 20 years ago or something at this point. I was always amazed by how long Supernatural was on the air for. I used to watch it until like season 7-ish? I don't know. It got to a point where it was like, oh, this is one of those shows where it's just going to keep happening until it gets shitty and they cancel it, isn't it? I kind of like the music references, but yeah. Apparently it was like a big time, like, lady show. I mean, the thing is, like, if you look at something like the Yakuza games that I keep talking about, because I'm a stan, if you look at something like those, and it's all just burly men fighting each other, and yeah, and all that, you'd think women would probably like that, too, for the same reasons that, like, we're talking about with Twilight in this post, like, it's men fighting each other. I don't know, but for some reason, those games are still shit on as being horrible. I have to go on a tangent for a bit. I saw people shitting on fucking the new one, Judgment, a little while ago, which is like a Yakuza spin-off kind of thing. People were shitting on it because, like, women, quote-unquote, still play secondary roles. And I just don't understand how you can think that. How you can think something so dumb in a game that's so... Well, I don't know. I can't speak for Judgment because it's different. But with Yakuza, it's like... Its main focus is dudes taking off their shirts and fighting each other. The whole thing is sexualized. It's like the whole thing is taken to the extreme. And so I just... I don't know. This is the kind of reality that we're in now, thanks to people like Moviebob and their incessant fucking push to, like, make everything mean more than it needs to. It's just... Game journos aren't people, by the way, Claw. Yeah, you're right. You're correct. I don't know why I keep making this mistake. This whole thing is a mess. Problem is that he makes men not liking Twilight sound like it's somehow important. Yeah, like, that's also a thing. Like, it's not... I don't know. I don't know. I just hated Twilight because of Sparkle, Vamps, Fuck Off Phone, and the fact Cullen hits all abusive. Yeah, there is that. I guess I can see where he kind of was coming from with that paragraph, but it still kind of came out of nowhere. But I have heard that Edward Cullen is a bit of an interesting character for, in terms of, like, I don't know, I can see how, I don't know, interestingly written, yeah, it's funny when you start to look at Twilight and you try to examine it as some kind of, like, feminist statement. It kind of falls apart a little bit. Oh wait, Edward Cullen. Oh wait, that guy wanted to have sex with a 2-year-old. Oh, she was younger than 2. Oh, okay, this is weird. All right. I guess I'll check the super chats here, because we got 20 DKK. I still don't know what that is. Kroner, I think. From generic McName. Hit or yif? I guess they never yif, huh? I think he's been digging into the emoji pasta subreddit. So thank you, generic McName. What was the other? Hang on. I have to check a different side thing. There. Take this for a second. And $2 from Randomness Productions with the Dead Dorks Daily Book Club. Say that one 3 times fast. All right. Okay. Emergency transitionary weirdness is over. Now on to the Decade of the Nerd. Now I think this is probably the last segment in this book. Maybe there's a third one that we can actually read now. But there's more books here. Originally published January 2010 on The Escapist. When I wrote this in 2010, the notion that the early 21st century really had seen the ascendance of nerds as a social power class was still sort of a revelation. Today, in the wake of geeks behaving badly incidents like... Oh my god. He really can't shut up about it. He just can't. This was 2016. This was 2 years after it stopped being important. He just can't let it go. That is thunder. Oh man. Did I tell you guys that I like the rain? I'm sitting here looking out my window just hoping that we get like a fucking monsoon. It's gonna happen. Yeah, the American right wing. The co-opting of so-called nerd culture spaces by the American right wing. Why is nerd culture why does it have to be a left-wing thing, Bob? Why does video games and like movies and stuff, why does it need to be co-opted by the right wing? Why can't you and your fucking friends stop like telling everybody who doesn't 100% agree with you that they're Nazis? Or even that doesn't 100% agree with you telling them that they're right wing when they aren't? Maybe don't do that. Maybe you would have less like wars over this shit if you guys would stop being such assholes. Like, co-opting of so-called nerd culture spaces by the... What co-opting? You guys co-opted it first! Like, I'm not, listen, I am, you might be wondering at this point, hey, Deadwing Dork, you're starting to sound a bit political. This isn't going to be a political channel, is it? And it's not typically. You know, it isn't typically. It isn't typically. But I gotta say, man, I am hardcore extremist centrist. I probably shouldn't say extremist on you. I'm an extreme centrist, whatever. I sit on that fence, motherfucker. And I allow I think all spaces should allow the right-wing friends and the left-wing friends to have fun and beat each other up in fighting games and call each other losers and then go about their day and continue having their own peaceful, opinions. They don't need to be co-opted by anybody. Oh my god, rant over. Good god, fuck off, Bob. I've no opinion on what we should call the decade now past. But by any name, my conclusion would be the same. The period stretching from 2000 to 2010 AD was the decade when the world went completely and utterly to the nerds. And thank the gods for that. Oh my god.
Rise up, gamers!
I'm sorry, your ears didn't deserve that, but you know what? I can't hold it in much longer. You gotta get a gamer's rise up. This is some shit. And I thought Gamergate was hilarious. Like, looking back with all of its fucking gamers... I searched for Moviebob videos earlier. The whole thing that got me into this was, I'm gonna look up some Moviebob videos and we'll do a part 2. And one of the ones that I came across in the list was from Sargon of Akkad. From like 4 years ago or something, where he was like, "The gauntlet is down, Moviebob!" And And I remember watching that at the time and thinking, oh man, Moviebob just got fucking owned, dude. Epic! Okay, I didn't say that. Even then, it was past the point when epic was the thing I said, but yeah. Yeah, looking back on that was pretty fucking hilarious, but now he's like doing all this nerd pride shit. Thank the gods for that. I've been a nerd for 28 years. It's like, oh good, I'm Moviebob and I can come out of my hole. I can come out of hiding now. It's okay. The jocks won't string me up the flagpole anymore. Because now Big Bang Theory's on the air, so I'm safe. Hallelujah, hallelujah, our persecuted nerd minority can be fucking allowed to exist. By anybody's math, the end of the last millennium was a horrible time to, for one, be a nerd. No comma needed, no punctuation, nah. Let me just read that again. Was a horrible time to, for one, be a nerd, or geek, or dweeb, or whatever name, parentheses, by the way, by which intellectually advanced / socially awkward misfits are referred to in the current parlance. Current parlance. Moviebob is so insecure. Like, he is just so insecure. He can't go one paragraph without some stupid fucking word from the fucking 1930s that, like, makes himself feel better. It's a vocabulary pat on the back to go, oh, I'm a big boy. My years just sitting there playing Mario Brothers 3 during my grandmother's funeral, they weren't put to waste. No, I'm a big boy now. I blog about video games on the internet. I am important. You listen to me. Thousands love me. Sure, we'd always been picked on, abused, and marginalized, but in the marginalized, guys. Oh, the gamers are rising up. I can feel it. I can feel the rise. I can feel it happening. But in the waning days of the wretched 90s, it had taken a turn for the worst. I don't know, dude. The PlayStation came out. That was pretty good. I like the PlayStation. There was a Dreamcast too. Well, that was cool. We were feared, hated. To the culture at large, we were horsemen of Armageddon, corruptors of the culture, enemies of the good. Motherfucker! This guy sits in his fucking basement playing fucking Mario 3 while his grandmother's funeral is happening. And he's sitting here thinking, oh yeah, I'm counterculture, baby. I'm the horseman of the apocalypse. I'm a corrupter of the culture. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, man. Talk about delusions of grandeur. It all had to do with the rise of the internet age. Rise. And with it, the digitization of human civilization. Of this, I remain convinced. Looking back, I can almost sympathize with the confusion and unease felt by so many in mainstream culture. For myself and my fellows, it was as though they'd gone to bed in an analog world they and their forefathers had known for centuries and woken up in a new world of dots and W's, where every aspect of their day-to-day lives was dependent upon the guys they used to see skulking. I was going to say shulking because I'm really feeling it. From classroom to classroom, attempting to avoid the day's atomic wedgies. Wow. Wow, dude. It's just so, like, antiquated. Like, this was 2009, I get it, but, like, this, I made the joke with the Ready Player One, but this feels, Moviebob really feels like the kind of target audience that, like, Big Bang Theory is going for. It's just, I don't understand it. I think I asked this in the video back in April, but, like, how do you dedicate so much of your life? He has nothing else. You gotta understand this. As far as we know... Oh, God. Stretching out. Oh, God. Ow, my back. Ow. You gotta understand this. As far back as we know about Bob, has he ever had another interest? Has he ever talked about his love of fishing? Or fucking like, any of that. No, his one thing is, like, geek shit, and he's so bad at it. He's so fucking, like, I don't get it. What does he do all day? How do you dedicate your whole life to that? It's like somebody who spends nothing, who does nothing. Their only personality is they listen to music. And you ask them what music they like, and it's like Katy Perry and fucking what else is on the radio? I don't know. The Dave Clark 5 and all those kid bands, all those youth bands from today. The hyperbolic rush to brand Microsoft's Bill Gates as a secular Satan for the age. What? Intellectual superiority and financial superiority were becoming analogous, and to more than a few, the prospect was vaguely terrifying. A world run on computers would be logically a world run by nerds. Would they be merciful to a world that's once dogged them for so long? You can feel the, like, rage building up underneath the surface in Moviebob. Like, he was picked on so hard as a fucking kid. And even now, he's picked on because he's a dipshit. I mean, because he's a dipshit. He goes on Twitter and he, like, acts like an asshole, and he expects people not to like respond to him. And like but would they be merciful to a world? Like, he's got all this power, guys. Fear Moviebob. His high podium job on writing a fucking geek blog for The Escapist. Oh man, watch out, world. Look out, jocks. Fucking Moviebob's gonna rise up. As it always happens, vaguely defined fears crystallized around very real, if only tangentially related, terror. In the media, the millennial fear and hate of the nerd was vindicated again and again. In 1999, hysteria surrounding the tragic massacre at... Okay, now we're on to Columbine. Okay, video games, I guess that makes sense. Y2K. Black Arts, Harry Potter. Harry Potter was a book. What? The cyber workspace was cruelly shoving analog employees into obsolescence. Harry Potter was luring youngins to the black... Harry Potter was a book! Harry Potter is literally a book. It's not a computer. It's not a phone. It's not a video game. I mean, it became a video game, but it started as a book. This is the only book you people read, guys. Every time you have to make a literary reference, it's to call Trump fucking Voldemort. You guys. Oh my god. He's blaming video game, or he's saying that everybody blamed nerd stuff and video games and all this stuff, but then he brings up Harry Potter, which is in the same breath as Pokemon, which is a video game. But he brings up a book. A literal book printed on paper. Oh god, Moviebob, why? How are you so bad at this? Even the nerds' own culture turned against them. The release of Star Wars Episode 1, the Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was supposed to be the second coming for Man, that's another 5 points from Gryffindor there, dude. Junior Jedi, but instead, well, we all know what happened there. Bad vibes, What, there was a bad movie? They made some bad movies. Yeah, Sega crumbled. And then everything started to go right. Yeah, 9/11 happened, and everything went right. Quote Moviebob. And then at some point things started to go right. Blah 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 9/11. Moviebob 2019 2010 whenever this was posted. But yeah, Big Bang Theory happened and now nerds are cool, I guess. Is that the end of the book? Oh man. Oh man, we don't get to know what happened. We don't know what triggered the shift. It probably was 9/11. 9/11 happened and everybody was like, you know what? The nerds, they had some good ideas. We better just let them have the run of things before Moviebob goes on his fucking jihad. We better just be careful. We don't want to poke the bear. Okay, so that was the first book available. Well, the first book I decided to read. The first part of it that's available on Amazon. There's a bunch of other ones here, but I'm going to actually bring in a friend of the stream. You may know him as my boy who does the thumbnails. I don't know. He might not even be here. Tristan, are you here? Tristan wants to yell about Moviebob for a bit, but remember, this is a legitimate review stream, a literature review stream. So if you want to get in here, I guess I should probably actually call you. Hang on. Okay, I'm calling Tristan. If he doesn't answer, this is his fault. Hello.
Let me hear.
Oh, hang on. I think I need to raise your volume here, because I can barely hear you.
All right. So give me
Chat,
just a sec. I'm gonna
sorry,
see what I hear.
just
sound like.
Chat. Let us know how Tristan's sounding here. What do we got? Read brick by brick. Read brick by brick. Tristan already did. He set the like goal to like 5 likes or something. He was like, "Hey, if you give me 5 likes,
I can't believe I said it that low.
I'm gonna read all of Moviebob's Mario 3 book." And then
that was a fucking mistake.
somebody just said you sound like a 2-ton bag of crap, so I guess they can hear you.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's a pretty accurate description, actually.
So welcome to the stream, Tristan. You're the lovely thumbnail man.
Yes, I am.
All of the secret hidden bulk bogans, the suffery hidden bulk bogans.
Grace.
So you had some things you wanted to yell about Moviebob on this legitimate review stream.
Yes, legitimate.
Not bullying.
Oh, Jesus.
By no means.
Performance anxiety. Yeah, we're not bullying, not at all. That's not what this is.
Oh yeah, somebody in the chat asked. Somebody in the chat is asking, featuring C.S. Lewis. No, that's just
what?
That's just what
okay,
that's
probably important.
That's just what it says on the front of his book as one of the things, like, I guess he has an article about C.S. Lewis, so he just threw, yeah, he's in the book, featuring C.S. Lewis. Yeah, he made this.
Oh, speaking of chat, we have 20 pounds from Evelander.
Yeah,
it's saying check the chat more.
I'm sorry, if I check the chat, then people get mad at me for not doing the thing, and then I go off on tangents, and then they're like unsubscribed. So it's a delicate balance I have to keep up. So legitimate Moviebob book review literature stream.
All right. So
you read
first
through
of all,
brick by brick. Tell us your stories.
I'm gonna sum up all of my feelings for brick by brick in just like 5 seconds.
Okay.
Let me get the mic away from my mouth real quick. Ah!
Very good.
That's my review. That's
Very
my
good.
review right there.
I agree.
That's it.
I only read a little of it, and I can agree with that.
Yeah.
How
so
long
I
was
should
the book?
actually.
How long was it?
Oh, jeez. It's like you know, I've actually like blocked most of it out of my memory. I can pull it up real quick.
Yeah, that was a few months ago. I've been an asshole and not done part 2 yet. No, Tristan went to all of this trouble reading this book and recording his many gripes with it, and I've just been like, oh yeah, here's Alien Wiki. I don't know, whatever.
Oh, I think I deleted it.
Oh no,
well,
what?
I mean, well,
you're gonna have to read it again, Tristan. I'm sorry.
Oh no! Oh no! I probably have a screenshot, but it's somewhere around 200 pages, but it feels so much longer than it actually is.
All right.
Basically, half of the book is him describing his playthrough of Super Mario Bros. 3.
Yeah.
On the Wii, by the way. He didn't even hook up his original NES to play this.
You'd think he would be talking about. I guess
The dog ate my book review.
I guess it was a review of, like, it was like a contemporary playthrough. That was the point. I would have figured the idea was like it's his past experiences with the game from like his childhood or something.
Well, that's like a third of it, I think, or maybe like a fourth.
Right, how he neglected to go to his grandma's funeral because he was too busy.
That's actually not true. I was very surprised to find that out.
Oh no, it isn't.
Yeah, he apparently, from what I hear, he did go to his grandmother's funeral. However, he left like around where the like gathering was after the funeral. He might have left to play Mario.
Oh god.
It's very possible.
Sorry guys, I gotta dip out of this funeral's real cool and all, but I just got to the big world, you know? The world? The one with the big... I just got there, and I can't...
What world was he on? I think this was, like, really late in his playthrough, so he was on, like, World 7.
Okay. I just booted up Mario 3 before the stream, because I was gonna play that to start off instead of World. But I actually kind of hate Mario 3, so...
Bob is to Mario what Chris Chan is to Sonic. Absolutely.
Oh my, yes. I think somebody mentioned that in the comments, and I think I hearted that one, because that's very true.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Moviebob at least manages to maintain, like, a job, somewhat.
Somewhat.
I mean, at this point, not even, because, like, now he doesn't have the escapist anymore, so...
Well, he does. He's still on the payroll, I guess. Okay. He still does the.
They just don't want him on their channel because people are complaining.
No, he still does what's his video series? The Big Fat Roll and the escape from the movie or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like he still does those series, but he doesn't do the game over thing anymore.
Okay. Well, I mean that series has been around for like a decade at this point.
Yeah, I actually took a screenshot of it before because I was in so much disbelief that it's still going on that I had to take a screenshot of it. And if you remember back in the Discord, the screenshot says the series that refuses to die.
Oh god, yeah. I don't know, man. The one that I reviewed was episode 33, I think, and that was like 2011.
That was the one where he's saying to exercise, right?
Yeah. Which was great.
That was before he was diagnosed with diabetes, wasn't it?
Oh. Well, now this hits too close to home. Somebody in the chat says, by the way, reminder of gamer cringe from Dork's past. He was in a cultural libertarian article by infamous Breitbart hack Alan Bukhari. This is true. It was. This was at a time when I thought that Breitbart was like, oh no, they're just fair. They're just alternative news. It's fine. They're not completely right-wing clickbait. It's fine. But yes, that happened. Mario 3 is trash. It is hands down the worst in the series. You know, I didn't say it. He's Got a Gun 505 said it.
But should we send help? He's Got a Gun 505. Do you want to give us your address? But
somebody in the chat before was asking to have somebody text him when the stream goes live.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Which is fine. I mean, I'm glad you're here, sir. But you might not want to give out your phone number like that. I don't.
Especially not on this channel.
No, I don't think that might not be best idea. Did you have something you wanted to yell about? What was it? I guess the same thing with the
parentheses.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that was such a problem. I didn't realize that was such a fucking problem until
they're like the alien reptoids. They're everywhere. You could just point to a corner in your room. There's some parentheses there. Moviebob, put them there. Ah.
Okay. Now somebody's
calm down.
Now somebody's saying Mario U is worse than any other. You know what my least favorite 2D Mario is? I think
Which Mario on the Wii U?
I think he means New Super Mario U.
I haven't played that one.
I never played it, but you know what my least favorite one is the fucking Wii New Super Mario Brothers. I just can't stand it.
I haven't played that one either.
The level design is so bad. It's just really... And the thing is, there's a ROM hack of it that makes it great. It's called Newer Super Mario Brothers. It's great.
Really?
It's got better music. It's got better levels. Nintendo couldn't do the job to save their life. I'm sorry. Now we're doing Mario talk because it's Moviebob stream. But you know, it brings it out. Let me just. Oh, never mind. I was gonna bring up the old fucking. I just remember a few years ago I think I included it in the video, the Moviebob video. It was like a couple years ago I saw this fucking, like, hot girl chat ad that was like, hey, I saw you the other day. I live in your town. You want to get coffee? And I just realized when I was looking at it, you know, if you replace the hot girl with Moviebob's head, this takes a very different tone.
You want to get a coffee?
You're not God, I'm my father! Alright. So, Tristan, do you want to stick around for another book here?
Sure. I'm on a bit of a delay because I'm watching the stream.
Okay. Let's see.
I can comment on things like 30 seconds behind.
That's fine. I can also send you the link if you want.
Yeah, actually, which one are you going to go to?
I'm going to go to this one. This is going to be a little teaser appetizer thing for the next video. Well, not the next video necessarily, but the next part 2 Moviebob video is going to be, we're going to look at some more
of the Game Overthinker one, right?
Yeah, we're going to be looking at some more of his Game Overthinker videos, which are still being made. Oh my god. And
still being made.
And apparently he's got a book.
I found that this morning. Wait, what?
Well, apparently he's got a Game Overthinker book.
Oh, okay. You're talking about this one. I thought you were talking about a movie. Oh.
Is this one? Yeah, this is just more blog posts.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm gonna send
Super Mario and the Sacred Feminine. What?
Oh God. Well, I guess
I don't like it.
There's the link if you want to read it up to date.
Yeah,
but,
I got it. Yeah, I got that on me right now.
So index of I don't know, this one might not have as much. This only goes down to the first one, so we don't get to see any of this extra stuff. Fuck off, phone. But we do get to read the first one. But we can also see some of the cool titles, like Tristan said, Super Mario and the Sacred Feminine, reconsidering the cultural assumptions about Princess Peach.
Dick Wolf.
For fuck's sakes. Kirby Confession, Gaming Blind Spots.
Oh boy! A long post about Gamergate.
Oh no, where is that?
Oh no, it's like 4th from the bottom, 5th from the bottom. Oh, I can't believe you called it.
Oh, it's literally called a long post about Gamergate. Oh no, you're gonna make me buy your book. You don't understand. You know, this is an emergency situation. I could be saving my money for Judgment, but instead I'm considering buying every Moviebob book just because this fucking this preview doesn't let me read Super Mario and the Sacred Feminine. Yeah, not a review.
You want to read a long post about Gamergate? I pulled it up. I can send it to you.
Okay, potentially. Well, potentially. So,
well, right,
yes,
I'm also
yes,
look
send
up
it to me, but potentially we'll look at it. Sonic and Crisis Parts 1 and 2. How to Save a Fallen Franchise. I've been watching so many videos from various people going, yeah, you know, just stop doing the boost thing and, you know, make them good. I don't know. And it would be great to see Moviebob's take on that. Mississippi.
Hold up.
What?
Hold up. Super Mario and the Sacred Feminine is just an episode of the Game Overthinker. Like an actual episode.
Okay, that's good to know for next time.
How'd they fit that video in the little book right there?
don't know. That's amazing. That's cool. It must be like a let's play of the video. So now Moviebob is a windbag, and won't stop talking. So yeah, everything in this book is just a blog post. So technically, if we want to read more of his fucking blog posts, Tristan sent the long post about Gamergate, which was...
I could probably find most of these.
Which was September 5th, 2014. That was like... He was like an early, quick adopter. That was cool. Xbox done. A winner is you. Oh yeah, Dick Wolfed. I can't believe Dick Wolves was actually a fucking controversy. Like, just, do you think that any of these people are going to look back at some point in the future and be like, hey, you know, fucking, boy, we said some dumb shit. I started a media fucking tweet firestorm war over Dick Wolves in an online webcomic.
Just a joke.
Just
in a webcomic.
Somebody said dongle. Somebody
even...
said dongle near me in a public place, and I decided to start World War III.
Yeah, it wasn't even like actually like offensive in any way.
Look at this. Look at this motherfucker. The underappreciation of Captain N. This is the worst thing in the... Right under a long post about Gamergate, he somehow has the worst take in the entire thing.
Boy.
So the introduction, the writing in this volume represents some of my earliest attempts... Oh, I should probably... Before I do this, I saw a... I saw a super chat, and I just want to make sure that... Oh, yeah. Mevolander with £20 says, check the chat more, please.
There's another one under it.
Yeah, I see. This guy is like some kind of weird amalgamation of a blue-haired SJW and an edgy Rise Up Gamers to beat the femoids. Very odd. Anyway, I'm gonna stop donating before I become a thought orbiter for Daddy D-Wing. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh man,
you can buy my bathwater at this link. Speaking of which, somebody actually sent me a link to a lady selling her own shit and much more.
That's been a thing for a while.
I'm sure it has, but I just I don't know. Rand Wolf with $5 says some measly Canucky schmeckles for your bravery. I enjoy your descent into cray-cray territories. I just hope you didn't buy this crap. Well, man, you know... Thankfully, they're all just blog posts, so I don't really have to. I can just go read his fucking... Just go read them if I want to, but I don't really think I do. But thank you. Right, so, introduction. Let me get this back up here. The writing in this volume represents some of my earliest attempts I ever made at putting my work in front of the public. Well, except for that flasher incident at the Arby's. Elsewhere in the anthology, I've described the unique position that I found myself in during my longest, so far, period of regular employment as a writer and... Yeah, so far. Hope that doesn't change anytime soon, Bob. Writer and film critic for an outlet that focused predominantly on video games, The Escapist. But the fact is, I've been a gamer at least as long, if not longer, than I've been knowledgeable/invested enough in film to write about it. I literally can't remember when I first encountered video games. They were always there in the ether of my life. But I remember exactly where I was when I first saw Super Mario Bros. Running on an NES, and I knew my life wasn't going to be the same from that point on.
Okay. At the end of this paragraph, I just want to point out 3 sets of parentheses.
Oh God, you're right. He can't do like he can't go one. I am scanning through this.
He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. Parentheses.
Get down.
The escapist.
Get down, Mrs. Obama. Yeah. So he saw Mario running on an NES. I mean, like, to be fair, when I was like a little baby, I think it was like 6 or something. I was in a Zellers and I saw a kiosk playing Sonic Adventure 2. And from that point on, my life was doomed as a Sonic fan. I'm thinking of suing Zellers, but they went out of business. I've been a fan of things before and became one... What? I'd been a fan of things before and became one of other things after. Oh, okay. But gaming was the first... This is a really convoluted way to write this. The first thing that I loved that I really decided to dig in... Huh?
It's Moviebob, come on.
Well, yeah.
He has to write things in the most overblown way possible.
I guess. But it's not even like complicated words, it's just a weird order. It's like it was translated 3 times. I wanted to know the
to and from Japanese.
And fucking Javanese, just to be spicy.
Yeah.
I wanted to know the canon of the games I was playing, the names of the people who created them, how they worked, where they came from, etc. Eventually, starting in my early teens, yes, in my early teens, before the later teens, I was inclined to apply that same level of commitment to film, which led me to my true calling. But gaming is always going to be a vital part of my life, or at least I hope it will. Yeah, that's why you confused Super Metroid for fucking Symphony of the Night, right?
That's why you quit gaming from the around the N64 era and only got back into it. Only got back into it when you saw that NES Game Boy SP and saw Super Mario Bros. The NES Classic Edition.
He's got
that's the story he tells.
I think he actually has some thing with Mario. I know somebody made the joke with he's like the Chris Chan of Mario, but it kinda is like that.
Yeah.
It's like this weirdly I don't know.
He isn't quite at the level of Chris Chan.
Not exactly, but he's very
relatively so.
Very strangely dedicated to Mario is all I'm gonna say. And I love Mario. I've been playing through New Super Mario Brothers 2. And somehow I still love Mario.
Oh, boy.
It's actually a good game. Everybody gives those games shit because they're all the same, which they are kind of, but the level design's actually still good. So I mean, it's very derivative, but whatever. I love Mario. I fucking love Mario, but shit, dude. It's like he doesn't even. It's like he wouldn't even know. He wouldn't even know basic shit about Zelda. I think if you asked him. It's like
Probably
it's literally just Mario. He doesn't even know the difference between a Metroid game and Castlevania, which is like the third tier.
Not know the difference?
The third tier Nintendo exclusive, more or less. I mean, yeah, it's not as popular as Pokemon, but in terms of I don't know, critical whatever, the kind of thing he's talking about and holding it close to his heart and all that shit. Yeah, you should know what Super Metroid is, motherfucker.
He should have played Super Metroid.
I can't get past that. I'm sorry. I can't. That's just... oh, boy. I thought Other M was going to be the hill I died on, but no. So when it comes to putting himself out there in the world of web video, it felt pretty natural to make my first real production a show about games. The Game Overthinker, and of everything I've done, it's probably the one closest to my heart. There was very little compromise. I largely answered only to myself, and it was the first time that someone, Craig Skistamus, and the guys at Screw Attack specifically, found something of mine and told me it was worth something and they wanted to be a part of it. Yeah, man, I don't know. People gave me some shit because I picked an old video of his to make fun of in April, but man... most people stopped doing the skits in 2012 or so. Around the time that guy with the glasses stopped happening, people realized that dressing up as Mortal Kombat characters and poorly keying in shitty fireballs and shit was... I guess Angry Joe still does it, so I mean...
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Nostalgia Critic still does it.
Apparently he only does that. Apparently,
really?
According to, IAG,
I hate everything.
Yeah, he has the podcast that he does called a Jar Media.
Jar Media podcast?
Yeah, and he had a video, they had one where they talked about Nostalgia Critic and how apparently they no longer include clips from the movies. Instead, he like acts out shit from the movies, and it's as bad as it sounds.
Oh, I have to see this.
I think I need to do a Nostalgia Critic video. Like, Nostalgia Critic in 2019, oh my god, this is still happening. You know?
Current year.
And you know what's weird? I was actually watching fucking Cinema Snob a little while ago. He's still good. He's actually okay. He doesn't do stupid skits. Yeah. He just, like, shows you the thing and makes jokes and moves along with the thing, and that's the thing.
Oh my god.
What's up?
From Katie Bailey in chat. Bob likes that weird new Contra game coming out. The one that looks like it's on phones, but it's not.
You know, it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad. It looked kind of... It looked really...
When compared to literally every other Contra game.
It looked really, like, crusty, but it kind of looked a bit fun. I don't know.
I mean, I hope it is.
Here's the thing, is, like, nobody else accepts that Contra can be anything other than just side-scrolly shoot. But I don't understand why, personally, because everybody's like, oh, Contra can't work in 3D, guys. It just can't. But it's like the first game had 3D in it. Contra's known for having 3D segments. I just don't.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
if it works kind of like Akari Works or another game like that.
I don't know, but the thing is, I played Neo Contra a bit on the PS2, and that was one of the top-down like 3D Contras, and I liked it. I mean, it's not amazing, but everybody gave it like 4 out of 10 or something. And like, am I just
really?
I don't like. I don't like I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Contra that much. You know, the normal Contra. It's not really my thing. So it's not crazy for me to say that something that doesn't play like normal Contra kind of looks like it might be up my alley. But
I mean,
you know,
I like normal Contra, and I still like the top down stuff. But like it just top down and isometric, and it's all like it just looks like it plays weird.
We're gonna get into a complete just video game stream at this point, but I did
I would not be opposed. Let's boot up some RuneScape. Let's do it.
I did hear that there's gonna be like a more Castlevania collections happening or something.
Oh yeah, I really hope there are.
Like
I want to play Symphony of the Night on my little gay Nintendo Switch. I want to hold up my Joy-Cons and scream like a little soy boy, playing Symphony of the Night.
That would be pretty great. I just want to, again, we're talking about PS2 Konami games that nobody likes, but I just want a re-release of the PS2 Castlevanias. They were really good.
I really just gotta play them.
Nobody fucking played them, and people who did apparently didn't like them. They're a little bit like. If you don't like the combat, there's not much else for you. But if you do get into the combat, they're a lot of fun. Anyways, back to whatever this is. This is just the.
Let's get back to the not stuff.
So this is just the introduction. And he's talking.
An introduction that fucking long.
Also, I skimmed past this and I saw something about race, and then I don't know. That was. No, I thought it said Race War, but it turns out it said Race in Gaming and the Penny Arcade Dick Wolves controversy. I just skimmed past it quick, so that was a bit interesting. Not out of left field for Moviebob. We're aware of his beliefs on eugenics and I think my favorite quote of his was actually something he tweeted just before I fucking did that video. It was like, people are just meat to be sufficiently cowed.
What?
Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find the screen cap, and I'll read it out. But oh god.
Oh boy.
Is this the one?
I like how he thinks that he's going to be in that elite that's not going to get called.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. He's got one here, Game Over Thinker, from 2 weeks earlier from whenever I took this picture, called "Get Over Yourself." I'm just trying. Trying to find this fucking tweet. There's so many tweets. God damn, Moviebob. Can't you just stop for like a minute? Oh yeah, reminder to everybody that the console wars of the 90s were his own private Vietnam.
His own personal Vietnam.
War inside my head! That's exactly right. I'm just... Oh god, where is...
That was right in my ear.
Sorry.
It's cool, it's cool. I screamed earlier. Like an actual scream.
This is a load of bottom text. I'm sorry that I'm not finding this, but I just... Oh, here it is. Here we go. Here's the picture.
Boy.
Let me just... I think this was in the video, but I can't get away with not showing this now that I've mentioned it. No, okay. Show the... No. Okay, it's not gonna show... Okay, good. Very good. Very nice and hot. Excellent. Goddamn. Don't you love it when you try to set something up with OBS and it's just like, nah. Instead, I'm just gonna not show what you're clicking to show. That's fine.
What's that you want me to show? Oh, it don't exist. It doesn't exist. I don't see it.
Oh, that's okay.
I ain't gonna show it.
This nation is so full of hateful, violent people, and I don't know how we're supposed to beat them from some lady.
I see it.
I've found a closed fist to be a solid place to start, though there's plenty of variety beyond that. At the end of the day, they're just bones and meat, and sufficiently cowed, most will stifle before you have to break any of that, so long as they're convinced you would.
Bob, what the fuck?
What the
fuck,
yeah,
Bob?
You know, that's
Bob.
It's not okay.
You're a movie.
Bob, listen.
Chill out.
Let's check the chat here. I'm sure people are yelling at me. Somebody got the Dream Theater reference. That's good. A few people got the Dream Theater reference.
Yeah.
I could have either gone with that or what was the other one? Fucking.
It ain't
My
me.
war! You're one of them, you say! I could have done that.
Nice.
Ain't no fortunate son. A joke in a penny arcade comic. Oh yeah. People don't even know. People don't even know what Dick Wolves is at this point because it's so fucking stupid.
So Rand Wolf versus Moviebob. Who wins? I don't know, Rand Wolf. Are you a moderately healthy human?
I think the bagel guy could take Moviebob. Oh yeah, that's what he said. I'd let Bagel Man fight. That's what he just said.
Yeah. Yeah, actually. Wow. Yeah, I don't know though. Do you think he'd be able to reach? Because apparently Moviebob's actually a little bit tall.
Yeah, he is a bit tall. You see him stand next to
well, let me fair,
Sarkeesian, and he's...
Yeah, Bagel guy could probably punch him in the dick. Well,
you know,
I say that like he has one.
I've been watching... Well, that's true. That's true. I've been watching Vinny play through DMC5 recently, and I've learned that, you know, it's not how big the combatant is, it's how much their determination is, how strong their anger.
Now I'm motivated.
So if Moviebob... I mean, I think... Well, Moviebob and Bagel Man would be a great matchup, actually, because Bagel Man is, like, got the whole, like, possible misogyny thing going on, and Moviebob's got the whole, like, crazy feminist thing going on. Yeah. It would be, like, the ultimate matchup of ideologies.
Bob's got the build, even though, well, actually, I don't know. I haven't been punched recently. This fat absorb punches. I don't know. I haven't been punched recently. But
I can fix that if you want, but you need to pay for the bus fare or airfare.
How far away are you? Like 2,000 miles? Okay, I'll be there in just a sec.
I live in the core of the earth. That's fine. Also, you can't see that. That's bad. You don't want to see that. Okay, so back to this. We're holding off here. So this is just the intro. We were I like 10 minutes ago I was like, let's get into this, and then we just went off on some shit. But A Matter of Character, originally written February 2008. Well, here it is, mostly. The text version of the first episode of The Game Over Thinker.
The text version.
This
is gonna be good.
So this is just a script for one of his like videos, I guess.
Yeah.
At the time,
apparently it's really short.
I had no idea if anyone was going to care about what really did boil down to me ranting about boring character design over a Is this going to be about like titties and Soul Calibur again? Or something like that?
It may be.
God damn it.
I've seen a lot of No More Heroes. Is he complaining about No More Heroes? What?
Yes, you heard me, you half-cocked...
Jiggle physics is mentioned, okay.
Oh boy, here we go. Yes, you heard me, you half-cocked message board fuckheads. The Wii is part of this console generation, even though it's not giving you a base 10 with bloom lighting and forcing you to go plasma in order to derive the proper enjoyment from otherwise rental-worthy rehashes, alright? 2 question marks.
Okay, alright. Do you understand
The
me?
Wii is legitimate, you guys! Stop calling me a baby!
I swear.
They didn't port Sonic 06 over to the Wii because Secret Rings was better! God damn it! It's out at the same time as the 360 and PS3. Wow, he's really doing this. Wow, this whole fucking paragraph, which by the way has no parentheses. This whole paragraph is just arguing Miyamoto is still God. Wait, what? Mario is still the gold standard. Miyamoto is still God. Bruh.
Ooh.
Do you remember? Okay, I know you like Mario, right?
God.
I know you like Mario, right, dude? Do you remember Paper Mario? Do you remember what he did to that? That's all I'm gonna say. Brawl will be... Listen, Miyamoto, he's a cool dude. He's a little bit old. He's not the most in touch with modern stuff. Wii music. Wii music. That was a legendary performance. Brawl will be the greatest thing to happen to gaming since the invention of jiggle physics. Brawl,
yes, I haven't showered.
Brawl will be the best.
Brawl. not even the good ones. Not even the original one. Brawl.
This is amazing. This is an amazing. No. What?
When was this? Oh, I think this was before Brawl came out.
This was February 2008. So this was... I don't know
I think Brawl came out in like March.
Okay.
Let me look.
All I remember is around the time it came out, there was a pinned general thread on V, and then 3,000 posts later, it turned into somebody vomiting feces. So that's...
Oh, wow. This is actually a little bit after it came out.
Okay.
It came out in the end of January 2008.
Oh, that's weird. But yeah, this entire paragraph is nothing but... I can't get over this, though. The whole second half. Yes, Sony and Microsoft's respective HD-ready next-gen behemoths are getting ass-fucked all over the sales charts by an underpowered retro oddity that isn't at all ashamed to admit it's a toy at the end of the day. You know Bob is so ashamed that Nintendo is like looked at as like more toy-like or childish or whatever. You just know he's so ashamed of it.
I wish I had an angry Nintendo picture that I could... I could just magic onto the stream.
I was thinking the other day, I was watching a stream of fucking Mario Maker 2, and I was thinking, it's amazing that Nintendo has managed to turn, he's playing video games, do something that won't rot your brain. They've really kind of swung that around, and they're going toward this whole, like, labo, and, like, building levels and all this shit. They're going for, like, imagination, and that's really cool. And I like that, but something tells me Moviebob's, I don't know. It's just, I feel like he's really ashamed by the fact that wow. Like nobody, this is an article where nobody even brought up the Wii initially, except him, and then he gets defensive about fucking, can we please stop it with this tired shit about GameCubes and duct tape and get the fuck over it! Exclamation mark, question mark. That's, wow. Anyway, No More Heroes. It was Well, this is stupid. This stops right before the actual fucking thing starts. It's like, this is the last paragraph. Dr. Peace fucking love with insanity dripping masterpiece. Okay, so he's just complaining that No More Heroes is, like, exciting and cool, and other games of, like, that era were kind of not so much, necessarily. Which I can't necessarily argue with. So, yeah, that's a shame. I came through this whole thing. That whole thing about the Wii that was, like, hilarious and pathetic. And read through, like, a guy speaking through tears and holding back the fucking convulsions. But then he just goes to No More Heroes is kind of good, I guess. And then that's the end of the...
Put the image I just sent you up on stream.
Okay, well, let's... Okay.
That's basically Bob right now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's current gen. Get over it.
Get over it, you guys! You guys!
There he is.
It's not a Bing Bing Wahoo machine. That meme isn't funny, you guys. Okay, well, that was some of Moviebob's Game Over Thinker book. He's got more here. He's got a bunch about movies.
I'm actually really upset at how many books this guy has.
Yeah, well, don't be. They're all just his fucking stupid blog posts, but he decided to like publish them himself. It's not that impressive. Like, Gail Schuler's got books.
Yeah.
And at least hers she wrote. These are just things that he put together from fucking blog posts.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like getting really demoralized because I'm right here, right in the center of my screen. Moviebob's Game Over Thinker and Beyond. And then next to it in my suggested books is just a bunch of Fists of the North Star. And just
it's like it's on the same level as Fist of the North Star. Yeah.
Get those out of here. We're looking at bad things.
It's like a little while ago when we were looking at the that guy with the trains, what was it? Ackley Attack TV or whatever. And I got through some of it. I don't know if you might not have been there for that stream, but it was like fucking...
I don't think I was.
It was some guy doing like a live action play with his fucking Thomas trains. And,
when was this?
It was like a week or two ago. But yeah,
I might have been.
I started watching this and then I stopped and I was like... I was on YouTube just watching actual things later, and it was like, watch later, continue watching this weird shit.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have Moviebob if I recommend it on Amazon. There's a 5-star review for this.
Well, one.
There is
review.
There is one 5-star review. Go ahead.
Oh wow, it's actually like a legitimate review too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, this is awful.
Jesus Christ.
Why would you? Why?
Well, let's go over to his long post about... Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, a lot of this is comments. Alright.
Oh wow, that's long.
A lot of it's comments, though. But some of the comments are hilarious, too. Really nice, Bob. Well thought out and really nice, Bob. Well thought out and written. This piece is evidence that Twitter is only good for news, but sucks for opinions. I totally agree with your points, Bob.
Yes, from the real Twitter account, Chris the Gamer. The real one.
Guys, it's him. We found him.
It's really him.
I'm so glad Joel did another Geo Guesser stream, and it was McDonald's themed.
I live for those things.
I want to do my own Geo Guesser, but then I'm just going to be even more of a ripoff, so can't do that.
Well, that's okay. Just do it, but don't mention anything like CBT.
Oh, okay. I won't say muscles. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I'll just not do any guesses in Sweden, and there you go. Your problem solved.
Just avoid it.
Yeah.
Just do the Sweden lightning round.
All right, boys, the lightning. I could probably get closer than he does sometimes in the Sweden lightning rounds. So this is a long post about Gamergate. Now, if you guys in the chat don't know what Gamergate is,
yeah, oh boy,
I'm going to summarize it. I'm going to summarize it.
Boomer.
I'm going to summarize it really quick by saying it was a brief event that occurred because some person did something that was kind of stupid and revealed a lot of interesting connections at various journalism outlets, and then a lot of stupid people on the internet, myself included, fought about it for a while.
Myself included.
And,
I met you through Gamergate.
Yeah,
I think you're one of the first like Gamergate big accounts that I followed. Back when you had like what 300 followers or something.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't want to know.
Long
Just
time ago.
don't listen. The only thing I need to take away from that era of my life is don't do that again. And also,
yeah, I've basically repressed every memory before like March 2015.
The thing is, there's a lot of the history books will look back at Gamergate in an interesting way because people still are like arguing about who was right, quote unquote. Nobody was right. It was an event that occurred, and then people had opinions about it, and some of them were idiots. Most people involved were idiots, and now
both sides were incredibly cringy.
Both sides had a lot of people who were literally only there because, hey, I can get a book out of this. Oh, I can be a congresswoman out of this.
How did that go, by the way? I haven't seen the polls.
I don't know, but I've not heard about any bombs going off in Massachusetts, so I'm gonna assume.
I haven't heard of any rocks being dropped.
Oh my god, the nuclear fucking space rocks. Oh, do you remember when she did the thing with... So now we're just doing, like, reminiscing about fucking lolcows, but do you remember when she did the logo for her campaign? I don't remember if...
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, God, you gotta look it up. It looked like... I think I tweeted about it, and I said it looks like a fucking gothic Sonic level. It's, like, all weird angles and, like, slopes and shit. It's hard to describe. Anyways...
Right, hold up.
Anyways, yeah, so Gamergate was a thing that happened that got a lot of people pissed off about social justice in gaming. Ostensibly, the long and short of it really was that a lot of people had reached a point where they were sick of and tired of, like, Kotaku constantly writing articles that are like, well, this game's okay, but it doesn't do enough to combat the plight of the Sudanese people, so 0 out of 10. Or, like, shitting on the developers because a female game designer at that studio decided to include, like, a character with tits or something like that.
I'm gonna post the Brianna Wu logo in chat.
Go for
because
it.
I think this is something everyone needs to see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give everyone a second to catch up.
See if you can speedrun that level in Line Rider, guys. bit of a shout out to the old days, but. Yeah, basically a lot of people were sick of that kind of, like, forced political shit in games journalism, and it still happens now, so, frankly, it was a silly little conflict to even happen, but people were kind of done with that, and other people decided to get involved and fighting, and so, yeah, Moviebob, though...
And then everyone scream at each other.
The end. Moviebob, though, he has his first post about this thing, a long post about Gamergate here. He has this from September 5th, 2014, which was like maybe like a week after this started being a thing. I think the Zoe post happened in like August 20th or something like that, somewhere around
around
like
August.
Late August, and so Bob was quick to swoop in with his Milady Defense Force, because a lot of people, and I'm sorry if you maybe were involved in Gamergate and you disagree with this and think that I'm wrong, but I'm sorry, but this is true. A lot of people who were involved in the sort of not so for Gamergate side tended to be only there because they wanted to score some of the sweet puss because they were because they look like Moviebob, and their greatest achievement was writing for The Escapist, and they thought, you know what, if I defend women's honor on the internet, even if it doesn't make sense and they're actually kind of in the wrong, I can get something out of this.
Never forget Song a Day Man.
That's oh my god, Song a Day Man. Oh my god.
Josh McIntosh or whatever his name
my
was.
goodness, oh my gosh.
Seems we've gone full Macintosh.
Oh god. Okay, so right up front, Bob says
we need to stop remembering these things.
this is a mistake. I feel like I need to say that I'm posting this to my own blogs on my own time under my own name and my own name only, because it's coming 100% from me. It's got nothing to do with any person I work for or any of the websites, outlets, etc. my work appears on. Nobody asked me to write this. Nobody's ever asked you to write anything, Bob. Nobody.
People specifically ask you not to write.
Yeah. And you shouldn't take anything I have to say as either endorsement or rejection of anything any other person or entity has said or not said in the matter. God, Bob, we get it. You took a fucking 5-day legal course. You know how to write, like, fine print. Like, personally or as a matter of policy, all persons depicted in this work are purely fiction and any resemblance. So, the Gamergate thing would seem to have gotten wildly out of hand, but that implies that it was ever in hand to begin with. Now, that's offensive to those of us without two hands. Given that the entire thing began with a jilted boyfriend posting still yet unproven allegations of his girlfriend cheating on him to the internet, and only became a gaming... Okay, so, yeah, consider this situation. Woman cheats on a guy, because women are people, and people do scummy things sometimes. And then everybody just takes her side, because she's a lady, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure why people just rushed to take her side like that in that situation, but... everybody, I guess it's for the same, the sweet poos, but...
Gotta get that pussy.
Yeah, I don't know. But he describes it as a jilted boyfriend. I don't know, like if you got cheated on with 5 people...
Would you not be fucking jilted?
Would you not be jilted or like a little bit upset? I don't know. I think we call that cancel culture nowadays.
Would you not be a flustered fox?
A perturbed platypus, indeed.
An angry armadillo.
Because the accused was an indie developer and one of the alleged paramours was a games journalist. No, multiple of the alleged paramours. There were multiple, and they were all like working for fucking different... I can't believe I'm doing this now. I can't believe I'm addressing this. I really should...
We just need a throwback stream. Just throw up like an old film filter. Make everything 70s. Make everything 70s.
No,
color.
I don't want to, but he's making me, because now he's talking about the female and the LGBT. It's hard for me to be objective about the organized campaign of harassment going on via social media, both before... I at this point, I can't stop. It's like... there was a video that Actman did yesterday. He was responding to the fucking extra credits video that they did about Nazis and gaming.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, it was great. He got partway through it and he said something to the effect of, like, there's so much stupid flying at you so quickly that if you stopped and addressed it all, it would be... Like, the video was 5 minutes, but his response was 20-something minutes because that's how long it takes. And that's how I feel now when I see Bob saying organized campaign of harassment. Like, okay, well, fine, we'll just pretend that's fine, alright. Like, okay, we've got bigger fish to fry in terms of stupid shit. Proper way to respond. Hence why I've occasionally been seen to resort to harsh language, angry name-calling, or simply retweeting the anguish I'm seeing from others. Yeah, all those people had their stairs muffins stepped on so violently by those evil Glabers. And, you know, the anguish, you know, those cries of pain. The reason for my difficult is simple. The reason for my difficult is simple. To the degree that Gamergate, or at least parts of it, aren't just a loosely organized blunderbuss being used to shove female, LGBT, liberal / progressive, etc. voices out of game. No, but that's kind of what it was, though, and that's not a bad thing. Like, specifically shoving, like, liberal and progressive voices out of being the exclusive dominant voice on every website that talks about every game, even if it's one that the reviewer probably doesn't even give a shit about. If it's got something that they can loosely tie to some ridiculous plight that'll get them clicks, then they'll do it. Like, yeah, that was kind of a part of it, dude. That's a fact. That's a statement of fact. People got sick of looking up reviews of Dragon's Crown and just getting 1,000 dudes with beards complaining about, but feminism though. And then the fucking voice actors come out and say, well, yeah, but like I'm a woman and I didn't give a shit. And then all of the men with beards continue, you know, it just keeps happening.
Internalized misogyny.
It just keeps happening. Let Moviebob mansplain to you how you should feel. The demand, we're told, is for an end to corruption, but the fractured nature of this so-called movement has made it abundantly clear that there's no one single definition of corruption that seems to satisfy every complaint. You begin to get the sense that corruption or lack of integrity have become buzzwords seized onto by a coalition that knows it wouldn't get the same attention or presumption of seriousness if they simply yelled, "Pay attention to me and tell me my input matters," into the void, even though that's what's down at the heart of it all. And frankly, games journalism should have seen this part of it coming. Well, yeah, the gamers were going to rise up. I mean, that was just going to happen. Bottom text. Yeah, I don't know. He kind of just like... I don't want to get into this for too long, because, like, I don't care anymore. This is fucking, like, 6-year-old drama at this point. Who gives a shit? What is this? Is RC Cine?
It has been 6 years, hasn't it?
It has
Almost.
been. Almost. And fuck off, phone. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get into all of this, but suffice it to say... This is kind of, if you don't know anything about Gamergate, imagine for a second you know something is, like, a certain way, and then, for fuck's sakes, phone. Imagine for a second...
Notifications?
I don't know. Twitter, I guess. You know that something is a certain way. You know that, like, I don't want to say the sky is blue, because it wasn't really that clear-cut with anything to do with Gamergate, but, like... You know that it's not an organized harassment campaign, quote unquote. You're aware of this, and yet people like Moviebob, it just encapsulate this feeling of like literally everywhere you went was just people saying shit that was just not true, and it was just annoying. It just got to the point where, again, you could go through every fucking paragraph of this and point out everything that he says and go, no, that's wrong. No, that's stupid, Bob. No, that's factually incorrect, Bob. But, like, I don't care at this point. I don't. Oh, God.
It's been so long.
There's so many different things he's been stupid about in the time since. And speaking of which, here we are on Moviebob's blog.
Oh, yeah.
So
we can,
Okay, well, this hasn't been updated in quite a while. This hasn't...
Oh, wow.
The last update was, it doesn't say when, but then before that was Friday, January 13th, or maybe those are both, Wednesday, January 25th, 2017. So this is kind of an abandoned blog. I don't know, we might find something of interest. Something that's slightly more relevant than fucking Gamergate in 2019. Imagine somebody coming into the stream now and they're like, oh boy, I haven't caught a Deadwing Dork stream live yet. This is going to be fun. And then it's people talking about Gamergate in 2019. This is all Tristan's fault. He found the long post about Gamergate. He's the one
I've done
who
this.
linked this. So I'm just looking through Bob's blog here. I think we're gonna wind down the stream in a little bit here, but I do want to see if we can find something else that's fun. It's mostly just like movie reviews.
We can look through his Twitter.
Yeah, we could do that, though. You're right. But I'm blocked. Hang on. Everybody's probably blocked.
Okay.
I'll just go private.
I'm not. I know that I'm not blocked.
Oh wow! Congratulations. In a similar vein, I'm actually still following Brianna Wu, and I'm very proud of that.
Seriously.
Yeah. Somehow she just never got around to blocking me again.
That's weird. I thought she had a block bot on.
I
know I'm blocked.
Oh, you are?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, from her. Okay.
Oh yeah, she has blocked me.
All right. Okay. Here we go, everybody. Here's Moviebob's Twitter. It's gonna happen. Hot suggestion from Tristan. He was right. This is a good idea. Right.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Okay, so here's him responding to someone who says, Democrats have called everyone racist they do not agree with. Bush, Romney, Trump, and even Nancy Pelosi, blah, blah, blah. And Moviebob takes this as, I'm going to let you in on the secret, kiddo. Because remember, this guy's a kiddo. Bob is superior to this man on the internet. He wants you to know that. That's why he said kiddo.
I too was stupid like you a few weeks ago.
Racism is a really, really big thing that's been around for a really long time, so it's in a lot of people, and it's part of most other bad things. Part of why most other bad things are bad. It's kind of like if you asked me, why does this hurt, and I said nerves.
Oh, silly Bob. Racism is illegal now. They made it illegal.
I don't understand. I don't understand. The guy that he's responding to is literally just saying, but Democrats call fucking everything racist.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, but you're racist.
Like, they could deadass, like, call this $5 bill on all the racist. And it has Lincoln on it. He freed the slave.
That about covers it. Dragged every leftist podcast host. Oh my god. He's retweeting shit about Hillary.
Oh,
okay,
boy,
listen, you know what? If he's retweeting shit about Hillary, our 10 minutes or whatever spent making fun of fucking Gamergate shit, it's fine. It's fine. Hillary was wrong. This is from somebody else. Hillary was wrong to call Trump's supporters a basket of deplorables. She should have called them a fuck-tangle of hateful, racist shit weasels.
Alright, message of that tweet aside, I actually really like the word fuck-tangle. I'm probably going to start using that.
I agree, but I also think that it's
Hillary
pretty...
Year of our Lord 2019.
I was going to say it's a pretty, it's a common... Do you remember when they called Gamergate people, to go back to that, of course,
oh boy.
Everything in the world centers on that.
Gotta take you back to the past.
Good God. Now I'm dying. Jesus.
It's okay, we're all dying.
Do you remember when they called people toilet boglins?
I don't remember that.
There was a lot of
I remember
a lot of people who wanted to come up with these fuck tangle of shit weasels kinds of weird insults that were
I remember goober grabber, gumper.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so common for these people. CBT are holding 3 children hostage at O'Hare Airport.
CBT.
Oh no, CBP.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
The CBT was he's at it again.
Come to Terminal 5 of arrivals now. Okay, well, sorry for those kids. I guess I'm gonna... his whole fucking Twitter is just calling people racists. This is amazing.
And I hate this about Bob, by the way. He always quote retweets stuff he replies to.
I mean, I get it. You want to get your own people to dunk on the guy, too. For some reason, Bob has, a good deal of fans who, stan him and shit on anybody that he tweets at, so...
Like that 5-star reviewer. I
guess.
commented on that. I commented on that, by the way.
Oh
I
god.
commented because I'm a stupid, useless meme lord.
Oh my god. Going through Bob's feed is like, here's a list of people to ignore on Twitter. Oh, Tig Notaro. Yeah, that's kind of funny, I guess. Yeah, no, don't follow that person. Oh, Jon Favreau. Yeah, you liked one of the movies he did. Yeah, don't follow that person.
Have you seen Chef?
Oh god, Lindsay Ellis. Here he is retweeting Lindsay Ellis. And fucking Ashley Lynch. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's Ashley Lynch. She hasn't been relevant in 6 years. Yeah, Bob's got a thing for...
She's the elevator coffee lady, right?
I don't remember. There's so many of them.
I don't remember either.
They're all the same. They're all the same, like, glowing fluorescent hair, getting mad about something that doesn't matter, and bringing down the whole internet to get mad about something that doesn't matter. And then people make videos that are, like, disingenuously bitching about, oh man, I sure hate this thing. Let's give it more attention. But anyways, yeah, Bob's really thirsty for Lindsay Ellis. I don't have anything more to really say about that. Just, he is. He's been that way for quite some time. Never bet against James Cameron. 3 hours ago. I bet James Cameron's not going to release Avatar 3 before he's dead. 2 is pushing it already. 3 is never going to happen.
When did it get delayed to? Like 2021?
I don't know. It's been delayed like
we
6
haven't
times. Like,
we haven't
Avatar
even seen
1
so much.
was 10 years ago at this point. The fucking sequel has taken 10 years.
I should actually check real quick.
It's not even coming out this year. It's coming out like next year or some shit.
Real quick, I'm gonna check if Avengers has beat out Avatar yet. Ooh, it's 6 million away.
Okay. I mean...
Okay.
Somebody's gonna get mad at me. Somebody's... You know what? We're this far into the stream. We're making fun of this kind of Twitter. I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how many people would still be around to get mad at me for that. But
apparently just over 200. Just jumped up to 202.
I'm so sorry, guys. You have to come and watch this. The Squad. He's still talking about Hillary. 6 hours ago, he's got tweets about Hillary and the GOP. Let it go. She was a very bad candidate, and she lost. She was a cartoonishly awful fucking, like, politician who lost to a cartoonishly awful supervillain. Like, get over it. Find a better one. Tulsi Gabbard's kind of hot. Vote for her. Yeah, there you go. This is why I'm supposed to be terrified of Republicans. You guys aren't good at picking bad guys anymore. Who's the... Oh, I don't even care. It's just... What is this? Oh, something about this Omar person. Oh, boy. I don't follow the fucking news enough at this point to, like, care. I just see this, and it's just so many people being mad about things. Like, at the end of the day, all this guy's Twitter is just so many people being mad about shit that will never matter to anybody's lives. I realized at a certain point, like, sorry to interrupt, but I realized at a certain point
it's cool.
That, you know, like, all the politics stuff, it's dumb. It's just really dumb at the end of the day, because it doesn't really change your life at all. Maybe like some of the more cultural things, you know, some of the more, like, some of that stuff. But when it comes down to, like, people being elected, no, you know, like, it doesn't matter which guy you get or which girl you get. At the end of the day, your life is gonna still suck. Or it won't suck, but that's you know, it's no more up to them than it was before, up to the other guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a dumb thing to worry about, and that's all this fucking Twitter is just people bitching about, oh, my president, not my president, my congressman, my whatever. It's like, have they done anything for you? Did Obama do anything for Bob? Did fucking, like, And same goes to, I mean, now I'm just getting overtly political. Did any Trump people, like, did Trump personally come to their door and suck their dicks or something? No, I don't think so. It makes maybe a few...
speak for yourself, Claw.
Okay, I'm Canadian. I don't know. I you know, we got Trudeau, so we had a very different self-serve kind of thing going on. But yeah, you know, it's just like even that, like Trudeau. I've enjoyed making some memes about him in my day, but at the end of the day, fucking the Canadian dollar is doing better than the U.S. dollar right now. That's all I care about. Like I get to lord over my value over Americans. Because their president is, I don't know, for whatever reason, has now the dollar is shit, and now we're better by comparison. So woohoo! That's all it comes down to for me. You know, it's the only way that any of this has changed my life, and so that's why I don't know this whole thing, all this shitting on about politics, all these people talking about. I'm not upset that I'm smarter than all these people. I'm mostly upset that I get paid so much less while doing it. So, there's a Moviebob quote, and here's nice tits Moviebob from somebody named Maya Hoffer. That's pretty good.
Oh, is that what he looks like now?
I don't know.
I can't believe that's what he looks like.
I doubt it. That's probably a Photoshop. It doesn't look like him in the face so much.
It actually just might be something different.
It kind of looks like the same mustache. But anyways, that's the last tweet I'm going to read where he says that he's smarter than everybody elected. Every elected official, including Obama and Bush, apparently. Well, Bush, you know, that's not hard to do, but, you know. Yeah, Bob is smarter than Obama and right. Okay.
What we really need to take away from this entire stream is that Bob is just so much smarter.
He's a lot better of a person than any of us.
He's really the best person. That's why everybody should die.
Nobody can really be a better person than Moviebob. If you think about it.
Hold up. Let me actually look up his plans.
Oh, his plans, his nefarious plans.
His what he wants from the world of the world.
He's going to build Eggman Land. We already know this.
All right, where is it? I know I have it around here somewhere.
He has had it up to here with that wascally hedgehog. Him and Mario are going to build the ultimate robot nectropolis. It's going to be beautiful.
Nah, see, what needs to happen is that just everybody in the world needs to submit to voluntary euthanasia, because I mean,
or involuntary. That's fine too.
That's what Bob wants for us.
Or involuntary. That's also okay.
And then Bob's gonna finish that doomsday device that wipes out everyone on the planet except for him, Natalie Portman, and Veronica Zamenova.
No, don't forget Lindsay Ellis.
And Lindsay Ellis.
And ContraPoints. He won't stop talking about... There, I have another picture here. Let me just see if... is this the one? I'm in awe of what @ContraPoints does, episode to episode. Matching that level of open vulnerability to that level of pure talent is exceptionally rare. And no one should need me to tell them the Lindsay Ellis is an inspiration... Oh, God. Oh, God. Marty! Inspirational figure. They are hope in the dark of the web. Lindsay Ellis is hope.
Make a rap about rape.
Yeah. Isn't she the hot dogs in the face girl? Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay Ellis is like, listen, I didn't like Lindsay Ellis before it was cool. I remember back when fucking the guy with the glasses, when that was a thing, I remember, boy, God, this nostalgia chick is, I mean, I'm all on board for hilarious nostalgia critic and spoony skits and all of that. I'm all on board for these epic memes, but boy, is Lindsay Ellis ever not funny at all.
Yeah, I kind of saw her as a Diet Coke nostalgia critic.
I mean, like, I guess she does different stuff now, but every time I see it, it's that same clique of people like, oh, Dan Olsen, oh, he's got a new video out, oh. It's fully liked by everybody because he turns off dislikes or something. Did you know that about Dan Olsen?
That's exactly what that means. I thought Dan Olsen was arrested or something. I'm just...
No, the thing with Dan... That was kind of dumb, honestly. People memed about him because he... Well, actually, I think he tried to download child porn to prove that people were downloading child... I don't know.
Yeah,
it was dumb that he did it, but people also, like, memed it a little bit out of proportion, but it was still...
Yeah. I don't keep
hilarious.
Up with shit like this.
Oh, God. I shouldn't. I really shouldn't, but, you know...
Oh, we've dropped to 186 viewers. Looks like your rant on all that stuff kind of...
Oh, no. I think everybody left because I said we're probably winding down the stream. Or they just realized, you know what? This has been 2 hours now. I can go outside.
It's been 2 hours and really nothing much has happened.
Not really. We've looked at a couple of stupid books.
We're not laughing at Moviebob. We're critiquing him in a very kind.
This is a review stream. This is
yes.
This is like we're like Ebert and Roper, or Siskel and Ebert, or Moviebob and Angry Joe. That's what we're like. Yeah, I guess this will be about it almost. Let me just check the super chats and things.
I didn't see any extra ones.
Nah, we're caught up. That's fine. Yeah, so that'll probably be about it. This was a little quick Moviebob excursion. Somebody in here is talking about Amanda the Jedi. I like her. You guys should go check her out. I don't know why she was brought up, but she's pretty cool. Yeah, no, this is probably about the end. I'm just... Wait, is this about that 40-year-old gamer dude? Yes.
Is he 40? Is he around 40 now?
I would imagine he's older. I don't know. Bob is one thirsty boy. Yeah. I mean, I was one thirsty boy at one point or another, but, you know, he still is.
Yeah, Bob
retweeting
is
Lindsay
very
Ellis.
clearly dwarfed you when it comes to thirst.
Yeah. Is Bob stalking her on 4chan?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh god, Onion Boy. We're gonna get to a third Onion video eventually. This is gonna
happen.
Originally it was gonna be like, because I had it on my Patreon as a $500 like thing, like an incentive. Because I saw this guy Geek Critique. He does videos about games and stuff. He's, I guess, kind of like Moviebob, but not an idiot. And he had a fucking incentive for Shadow the Hedgehog, I think. And so I was like, you know, I'll just do that, but with Moviebob. Or not Moviebob, with Onision. Same thing. Yeah. Pseudo-intellectual weirdo who tries to be, like, cooler than he is.
I don't know. Who's worse? Onion Boy or Moviebob?
Oh, it's Onion Boy.
Oh, post in chat.
No, it's Onion Boy. Moviebob is like... He's too bumbling and fucking... I don't think he's competent enough to do anything wrong. Onision, I think he's... We know the bad shit that Onision's gotten up to. There's shit we probably don't know. That's
the boats are in, yeah. Onion Boy is pretty. All right. Oh, we have a Bob boat.
I mean, we've read, like, you can go and read Onision's books if you want. Which I probably... No, I don't mean you.
No amount of likes will get me to read this.
I mean the chat. If you want to go read Moviebob's books, if you want to go read Onision's books, you can. But, like, I think Moviebob's slightly more... He's got a bit more of a grip on reality than
oh yeah, we have we have this boy up here, this absolute galaxy brain tomfoolery, Movinion Onisibob. That's the worst person you could possibly imagine right there.
Movinion Jesus Christ. That's like a fucking final boss in a JRPG. That's frightening. Well, now I know whether or not I should remove ContraPoints from my watch later feed. You know, I was gonna watch some ContraPoints videos at one point or another, but then I noticed that every one of these sorts of people just keeps like, well, did you see the ContraPoints video? I'm like, okay, No, I'm okay. I'm good on that. Thanks. I don't need to be dictated to like I'm a 5-year-old. I don't know. I haven't seen any of her videos. Can't speak to it, but it just kind of struck me as that kind of thing. He looks like he has a bigger rack than me. Somebody says. Obama was at your wedding. Somebody else asks. Oh, that sounds pretty good. I'm old enough to remember reading Justin Trudeau's dad. I remember Trudeau's dad. He was actually like a little less of a hilarious little boy. Some people say Pierre Trudeau was a cuck. I don't know how true that was. I think I've heard that he also fucked other women, so maybe it was just like super modern.
Maybe he's like both.
Yeah,
he's a Chad.
He's the most alpha cuck. That's what it's like to be the best Canadian.
Yeah.
Vote Pierre Trudeau's ghost. Why is Bob such an SJW? I like Erase Her Head asks, why is Bob such an SJW? That's the real question. It's just at the end of the day, why are you like this, Bob? Why?
Please stop, Bob.
All the other questions can go by the wayside. Goodbye, my fellow people. In several brackets, I go to sleep. I like how the parentheses thing can now apply to both other memes and Moviebob.
That's my exact opinion on parentheses now.
People are saying ContraPoints is good. I know it probably seems like I'm some kind of hardcore fucking right-winger or something, which might have been bolstered slightly because the last time I streamed, there was somebody in the chat who showed up who does videos that I really like, but she's a little bit right-wing. She's very right-wing, and I don't really agree with everything, but I kind of shouted her out, and I was like, oh, yeah, some people are going to go check her out and see that she's, like, pro-Trump, and I'm going to be like, oh, he's one of those. And, I mean, I like Big Joel. If anybody knows Big Joel, he does, like, fucking... Not the other Joel, but Big Joel.
Yeah.
He does, like, videos about how fucking Shrek is a communist manifesto or something, and it's weird, and it's kind of cool, and he's very lefty, but he's pretty good, and that's all I try to do, you know. I try to get the opinions from all the sides, and
like as much as it pains me to say this, I pretty regularly watch Quentin reviews.
I liked Quentin reviews until he started getting to a point where it was like he didn't want people who weren't completely aligned with him to watch him anymore. And it was like this straight up... It's kind of same thing a lot of these kinds of people do. They just go into this kind of like, oh, I'm right. Everything I say is correct. Yeah. So therefore, if you don't 100% agree with me, you're a bigot, and I don't want you to watch my videos. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
We just didn't come to this video about Logan Paul to hear you bitch about Trump for a minute and a half. Quentin.
I was in the chat when that happened.
Oh, God.
Everyone posted Orange Man back. It's great.
And then he goes on Twitter and he quote unquote embraces it. He's like, haha, Orange Man bad, lay Cheeto man. It's like, no, you idiot. We specifically don't come to your video. We specifically come to videos about Logan Paul not to have to hear about Trump. And here we are. But yeah,
like honestly, that's something that peeves me a lot when someone who isn't about politics puts politics in their videos. Then people say, "Hey, stop that." It may not just be because they disagree with you. It might just be because
they don't want to see it.
I don't want to hear any of that shit.
Which I can kind of get if you're watching
about the Fiend movie.
If you're watching like this stream or the other Moviebob video that I did, I could kind of get if somebody was like, "Oh, this is too political. I don't agree with your opinions," and that's fine, I guess. But it is Moviebob, so like it's
Moviebob. You kind of have to address.
You can't address because he doesn't really have that many opinions that aren't about weird social justice shit.
Yeah, because I mean,
he somehow ties fucking Mario back to this shit. It's like what. You know,
Mario would be ashamed of us.
He had what was that one? How Link and our heroes would look at us
in the next Smash Bros. Cinematic.
Yeah,
and looking at us in Tristan.
You can't really like even talk about Moviebob without getting kind of political, and I try to keep the politics relatively just to, you know, don't be an asshole to people. But that's like somehow Moviebob can't figure that out. Like, if all he did was just be this way and feel this way and talk about movies and shit, and maybe occasionally bring it up if he wanted to, that would be one thing. But he's so aggressive about it on Twitter, and he shoves it into everything. He ended up getting dropped from fucking The Escapist years ago. I think it was The Escapist, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was The Escapist.
And it was just because he kept talking about fucking Trump. Like, it was videos about Superman or some shit, but he kept talking about fucking Trump. Shut the fuck up. I don't know. I don't know. Now we're just ranting about Moviebob, but that was the stream, I guess. I don't even know what the stream is showing at this point. It's this tweet. Moviebob being smarter than all of these people.
Moviebob, he's just so superior to us.
Obama, every elected official, everybody who's been president in the past, bow down.
And then just below it, it's nice tits.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, thanks for stopping by, Tristan. I'm sure the stream definitely... you definitely brought a bit more livelihood to the stream, you know? Like
a bit more trash.
Well, yeah, but that's what I bring to the stream, too, so it's...
I'm the trash, man.
The trash.
Yeah. Why don't you play night crawls with me anymore, Charlie?
Get down on the floor, Charlie. Alright.
You know they just released a mobile game.
What, Always Sunny?
Yeah, an Always Sunny mobile game.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, that would be interesting to play.
Probably.
You remember when every licensed game was shit? And now, like, a lot of them...
I remember when a lot of licensed games were good.
A lot of them used to be shit, and now a lot of them are, like, at least okay. Most of the shitty ones just turn into phone games now. But back in the day, it was like, oh yeah, Catwoman for PS2. Everybody's gonna buy that. Get some.
Yeah, but then you had stuff like Chamber of Secrets on glorious PlayStation 2.
I think the thing was, at the end of the day, a lot of a lot of tie-in games came out that were like accidentally good.
Cash grabs.
No, they were like accidental masterpieces, like the Sims games that I really like on the Game Boy Advance.
Herbs, Sims, and the
every
time.
Tristan is the only other person who appreciates the Herbs soundtrack as much as I do.
It's so good.
Actually, Mini-Me just did a video about the Game Boy Advance Sims games. Mini-Me, he does like videos about weird first-person shooters on the Game Boy Advance and shit like that, and like
I haven't heard of it.
Movie tie-in games and stuff like that. And he talked about the Game Boy Advance fucking Sims games.
Look that up.
And he was
I'll
saying
look that up after this.
it's Mini MME, I think. It's 2 M's. But
okay.
Yeah, he was saying that it's like a little grindy or whatever, and I kind of don't agree. I don't know. I grew up with those games, so I kind of feel like, to an extent, they're my baby. There's no other game out there that's quite like whatever the fuck the Game Boy Advance. They're like adventure sim games.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I'm surprised there's never been like an indie game that kind of tried to like go for that kind of thing, because I don't know. But I get the feeling with those, like, they were just shot out like EA, whatever. We need something to tie in. Get money, put it on the Game Boy.
Yeah,
people own Game Boys, but we need money.
But then
and then somebody involved actually cared and made something good, and it's like, that's nice. The same thing happened with that SpongeBob game, Battle for Bikini Bottom.
That was great.
By all accounts, it should have just been a shitty SpongeBob game. But somehow... And actually, there were versions of it that were shitty. I remember my fucking cousin, blessed be her heart. She is a lovely person, but she decided to buy me, for Christmas, as a gift, Battle for Bikini Bottom for PC, which is just a mini game collection.
Oh no.
It's not the same at all. There was a weird period there where, like, for some reason, even though the PC was more powerful, typically, than the consoles, you had shit like Spider-Man 2 for the PC. I don't know if you're familiar with that masterpiece.
I played that.
Oh boy, I didn't, but I've seen people play it, and it's pretty special. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now we're getting straight into just video game discussion stream though.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be willing to keep on talking, but I guess you probably want to wrap it up.
I gotta get into. I mentioned before I reinstalled Fist of the North Star game, and it took like 6 hours. It's not that nice, honestly. It's not that nice. It's a great game. Like, it's getting me into Fist of the North Star, but at the same time, the combat is just a lot of pressing B or circle, or not circle.
Well,
square.
I mean that's just Yakuza combat.
No, it's worse than that. Like, Yakuza combat, people give it shit for being too, like, shallow. But, I don't know, playing 6, 6 is missing a lot of shit. But the combat, hey, you want to beat up a guy with this move and then grab him and spin him around and give him the spin to win and throw him at the other dudes? You can do that. With Lost Paradise, though, it kind of felt like every fight boils down to punch the dude a bunch and then do the Hokuto Yakuratsuken move or whatever it is, and then just watch the little cinematic happen and they die. And it's like, that's cool in an anime where you're just watching Kenshiro do something cool. But when it just comes down to press square a bunch and then press circle, it's like,
I guess. I haven't played it because it hasn't come to PC yet.
Oh, yeah, I guess it hasn't.
By the way, Sega. Call me.
Sega's an amazing company. They really need some new fucking leadership. But I think they've had new leadership in the last 20 years, and look how it's turned out for them. The only games they still release at this point are Yakuza games and, like, Sonic. And
the occasional terrible Sonic game.
Yeah.
And they're doing Monkey Ball. They're re-releasing.
But it's the Wii one that nobody liked.
Yeah.
Which might be better if people can play it with, an actual controller. But,
yeah.
I remember, like, I tweeted about that yesterday to an extent. Vinny was talking about that, and I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if Sega just got a guy to go on Twitter and be like, oh, hey, yeah, every series that we own that we neglect, that we've been neglecting for like 40 years or whatever? Yeah, they want a new Alex. They want a new Alex Kidd. They want a new Rystar. They want a new Jet Set Radio and Shinobi. They want a new Space Channel 5. They want a new Vector Man. None of these things will ever happen because we need to make room for Sonic Forces 2. But, fucking, ugh. Oh god, I'm gonna go into a Sega rant at this point. But if they're gonna if they're gonna just give us Yakuza, Sonic, and Valkyria Chronicles, they could at least localize Ishin and Kenzan. That's all I'm saying. Apparently they've got like child slavery or something like that, which is like obviously a sensitive subject in the West. Pretty much anywhere, but like in feudal Japan, I guess that was like a normal thing. So
they could probably get away with like an Assassin's Creed style thing where it's like this represents the time period.
It's amazing how we live in this period now where we can't do a historical game. Which, I mean, it's Yakuza. It's like, it's going to be men fighting with their shirts off at the end of the day. It's not going to be the most accurate thing, but like a game set in a historical period, we can't even get one of those in the West over here because people are so fucking like little baby men. Oh, I can't have a thing that I voluntarily bought that, has something in it that's uncomfortable. That's bad. Art can't have uncomfortable things in it. That's bad. No. Ew.
Everything has to be sanitary.
Safe space. Okay, well, now I'm just bitching some more.
So real quick, we have a Scatty Safari. It says, which is the best Yakuza game? I got 0, but having trouble getting into it.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I would say 0 is probably the best.
Yeah, I would say keep going through 0. It gets really good.
Either 0 or 5, but for different reasons. Like Zero's got the best, like, everything, the best total package. It's got, like, there's other games that have better graphics, but there's other games that have better, like, combat. There's other games that have better, I don't know, exploration, but none of them have everything quite as good as Zero does.
Yeah.
I'd say Zero's
Yeah, because it's
got
the full package.
Yeah.
I would personally...
Like with 6, I've been really disappointed, honestly. Like, it's a fun game, the story's good, and it's a better resolution for Kiryu than, say, like, MGS4 is for Snake. Like, I would compare it directly, in fact, to MGS4, where it's like this big...
I don't know. I think I would prefer Old Man Kiryu and Old Man Majima battling it out on top of the tanker. I think I would prefer that.
That would be pretty good. No, but it's like MGS4 had like really advanced, interesting gameplay, but the story was kind of a mess, and then also the gameplay was kind of a mess because after like the second chapter, it stopped being good. It started just being like Big Mama cutscenes, and the Shadow Moses one was almost good, but then it was all shitty robots. But yeah, instead of that, Yakuza 6 is like, it looks better, and the gameplay's better, but the story, or the gameplay feels a little better, but the story is, where am I going with this? This gameplay feels a little better, but it's missing so much shit. The story is really good, and it's a good send-off for the character, but it's missing so much shit. You can't even equip weapons like you could in the PS2 game. Like the fucking original like Yakuza.
It's not even like a Dragon Engine thing, because you can equip them.
You could do that in Kiwami too. I mean, maybe because it came out first, they just hadn't implemented that yet, but like, delay your game until you have the things that were in it from the first game. You can't even access the Champion District or the fucking Kamurocho Hills area.
Seriously?
Yeah, the whole game I was expecting those will be unlocked by the end, but no, there's just guys who are like, nah, you can't come this way, sorry. There's just entire parts of Kamurocho you can't visit, which, like, it's kind of, for me, like, I know it's Kamurocho, and to an extent, it's cool having to see it in every game, and it's like, you know, you get to kind of grow up with the city to an extent, but it's also like every game has to have Kamurocho. Yeah. And then comes along one that's supposed to be some advancement in the series, and they don't have all of it. What? Like,
it's like the national dex with Pokemon.
Exactly. That's what I said the other day on Twitter. Like, this new Pokemon, they're taking 2 steps back and like a couple of visual improvements forward, pretty much.
Oh, but it's all worth it for those T-posing Wingulls. Hop in, steal it.
Yeah, I mean, like with Yakuza 6, it really comes down to you can enter the Popo now without a loading screen, and that's about it. Like,
which is really good.
It's a little better. I mean, it's cool. It's just not enough of a step up to justify all the shit that's missing. Honestly, especially if you played 5 before. Like, I don't think you played 5 because it's not on PC, but 5 has 5 different cities.
Yeah, I've heard.
And some of them are smaller, but they're all really comfy, and like they've all got that feel, you know. And it's like 5 different game styles and different combat mechanics. 6 doesn't even have a Coliseum. Doesn't even have Purgatory.
Hasn't that been in every single game?
Every single one! Including the PS2 ones. I don't know, man. It's a good game, but it's one you want to probably play like I did later on when you've seen other stuff and you're like, okay, I just want to finish Kiryu's story. Oh yeah, I should mention, there's like a bunch of shit in 6 that I still haven't even seen yet because it actually isn't working.
Wait, what?
There's this like mini game side quest thing where you can like befriend people at a bar, and it's called Snack New Gaudi, because apparently there's a bunch of bars in Japan called snack bars, which aren't like our snack bars, but they're like I don't know what makes them different, but but they're all called Snack something, and there's one in the game called Snack Kiyomi, which is like important. But then Snack New Gaudi is supposed to open where you can like make friends with people over a drink, and it's weird and Japanese, and I don't know. But I am on fucking Premium Adventure. I finished the game, and I still don't have that place open. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. There's like a mini game where you go around feeding fucking cats, and some of them apparently don't spawn in. I don't know, man. It's an interesting game. Interesting game. At least the story's good. Anyways, I'm going to keep rambling forever if somebody doesn't stop.
Let's go ahead.
Somebody stop me!
We have in chat. CBT should be stopped.
Yeah, somebody's got to get that guy. He's been going around the countryside being a nuisance. I fucking some people were mentioning CBT on a stream the other day, and I was like, what is that? Is that a new meme? And then I looked it up, and it was like cognitive behavioral therapy.
Nope, that ain't it.
And I was like, oh boy, this sounds good. I could use some CBT in my life. So, on that note, I'm gonna go get myself some CBT, and
Nice.
and Tristan is gonna go read through all of Moviebob's Mario 3 book again because he has to.
No.
No. If you get 4 likes, you have to do it, dude. I mean, you just have to.
I will not. I refuse. I
Okay.
say no.
Once again, this has been Deadwing Dork and your boy Tristan, who, if you don't know, is the lovely gentleman who does my thumbnails. Some of my thumbnails, most of the better ones, except for that one that was just Jelly Juice's face. That was all.
I think that one.
that and the Dayton Hypernova one that was just his face. That was all me, baby. But
It's all you really need to know for those videos.
Pretty much, yeah. All right, I'll see you guys. Take care, and yeah, bye, penis.